Welcome aboard the Nerdy Neighborship. I'm your captain, Zach. I never know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. I never know what I'm going to say.
That was a big swing, but it's okay.
You went wide.
Yeah.
You really went wide, and I appreciate it. Yeah. Change it up.
You know what? If anything, it's your guys' fault for making me feel free to express myself.
We need to cut that shit out. So that is Zach. I'm Vince. We are joined again by
JoeJoe. Hello.
And this is Nerdy Neighbors,
podcast,
where we talk about shit that only interests us.
Yes.
But hopefully you too, and that's why you're listening. Thanks, Bono.
Bono, we know you're there.
Friend of the podcast,
yes.
Bono. That's everybody knows. We also perpetual spoiler warning in effect.
Yes.
Quote my friend Vince, kill your darlings. We talk about what we feel like talking about. If you don't like it, don't listen. But also, listen, because we're fun.
Yeah. You'll get past it.
We're changing up our normal structure. Not just because, honestly, there's not that much news we feel like talking about. Daredevil got canceled.
Daredevil got canceled. Scarlet Witch and Vision is happening.
Yeah.
For sure?
For sure. It's called Scarlet Witch and Vision. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And then also...
Is there a writer attached?
I don't know if there's a writer attached. I just know that Disney announced the name of the show.
Not to call back old news stuff, but remember I was telling you, I think it's odd when they announce these projects and no one's creatively attached to it.
Say that.
I think it's odd. I think it's like testing the waters. Sorry.
Also, apparently none of the Netflix shows are getting picked up by Disney Plus.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
Me neither.
Yeah.
That's not their brand.
I 100% thought that.
Really?
I didn't dare to hope.
I thought that they were going to do like a Marvel Max or whatever the thing is that they do.
No,
the mouse? No.
This will be one of those things that we all collectively remembered as, it started out great and it kind of petered out and we'll never see anything like it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's our highly abridged news segment, and we're going to get back into Young Justice.
We got stuff to talk about. We had a pre-pod conversation. We're gonna try not to talk over each other.
Oh, as best we can.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to be more concise. Someone, I won't say who, took some diligent notes, I'm told. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we'll have a bit of a compass in this conversation.
We'll figure that out as they come up.
Hey, hopefully if you're listening to this, you're used to dudes going on tangents.
Yeah. Well,
so where we left off, but real quick, actually,
sure.
I didn't finish what we listened to today, but I didn't finish what we recorded previously.
Yep.
But something I just want to reiterate is at this point in the show, it's done. Young Justice season 1. It's done such a good job of showing the different character. Let me more concisely say something I love about this show that I talked about a little bit in that episode is how much. In the beginning, they don't necessarily gel as a team. It's not a thing that's always addressed in these types of cartoons. It's like the second they get together, they're normally working pretty well together. And the first mission that we talked about, Drop Zone, in episode 4, they really highlight how far this team has to go.
Yes. And
I think introducing Black Canary and the idea that they're training together and all that kind of stuff is a really, really. I don't necessarily want to say innovative, but it's using the tools that they have in the best way they can.
Yeah.
Of we see them not play well together necessarily.
Right.
And then we see them there's a justification. There's hey, not only are they going to be a team for longer, but now they're training together. Here's their teacher. And so there's this logic to them being better at being teammates to each other, not just being these kick-ass superheroes.
Yeah,
which
the
they
entire
are.
First season is about a family coming together.
Basically.
But it's so cool that they take the time to address that.
Yeah, and that's what makes the show stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right. Sorry, I wanted to get that out there
worries.
because it's something I love so much about season 1.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that organic kind of we're on the journey with them, and we did 8 last or 9.
So
we did 8 last.
Okay.
Yeah. So the episode we're on now is Bereft.
Episode 9.
Yes, Bereft.
So all right, real quick.
This is the amnesia in the desert.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this. Okay, but how do you feel about Bialia and Karak?
Boy.
JoeJoe and I are both of Arab descent.
Yes.
So sometimes in modern cultures...
What? I thought you guys were Irish.
We're also that.
Yeah. That is also true.
That's also true. So sometimes we are on the short end of the stick culturally, is that a weird way to put it?
No, I get where you guys are coming from.
I'm not trying to pull a race card, but sometimes things happen like fake Arabic, and it's like,
I don't know about I don't like the fake Arabic.
Yeah, fake Arabic is always rough for me.
Yeah, that's rough.
It always sounds like Klingon.
Yeah,
it's always a lot of la 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 sounds and
they do it with the Relasians too. I don't know if the Relasians are speaking something specific.
It can't be.
It is a parody of North Korea. South Korea.
Yes,
right? we know, but that's what. But Yusuf and I are in a unique...
Yeah, exactly. From your standpoint, you see
right.
the other part.
I feel uncomfortable commenting on Relasia, but I bet you they feel the same way I do.
That's how I was comparing.
Where it's like, oh, I love this show, but ugh.
I guess I would say that, I think them existing, period, is fine, and generally they are depicted as, like, at least like Baraki, the one we see later, or Barak, or whatever. It's made up, who cares? That one is like, this place is pretty cool.
So I don't struggle with it. I always go, I don't mind that it's like, here's an allegory. Yeah. It's a very direct allegory, and it's because we don't feel like saying Iran.
Yeah.
So that's the way I kind of justify it. But I feel very happy saying on record that fake Arabic fucking bums me.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't care for that.
Yeah, either just don't do it or So Karak. Bereft.
Yeah, something I like about this episode is we see Wally and Artemis meet under different circumstances.
Yeah, with no pretense.
Yes,
and he hits on her because he loves her.
Yes, and it's cool. I think it's a cool thing to show in a show that is sort of aimed to a younger audience, because it's like, hey, sometimes you meet someone and you're just shitty, and if you met them under different circumstances,
you'd be less shitty.
Shitty. You might have attached some kind of personal baggage.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And I like that kind of... I don't think that was actively something they were looking for, putting out there, but it's in the show, and I, always was like, this is cool. And it's another way to, sort of throw in our minds that these two are into each other.
Yeah. But also, it's... not to get too artsy-fartsy, but, when comic books and science fiction and all that stuff is done right, it's showing aspects of the human condition under these extreme circumstances. It's it's why we make up myths, is these kernels of truth that are really endearing and appealing to experience.
I agree.
Sorry.
No worries. So we wake up with the troop.
Yeah.
The first person we see is Robin, right?
Miss Martian.
Miss Martian, that's what it is, yes. Long story short, they were sent on a mission to Bialya, courtesy of one Harvey F. Batman.
One thing that is I also love about this episode is, even with I think
you should look guilty. You should look guilty.
I just tried to brush completely over.
No.
Even with I think it's 6 months completely wiped from his memory.
Precisely.
Robin still has Batman wedged in the back of his consciousness, being like, "Don't fucking talk." He's like, "Whoa!"
Guys, I love that stuff.
Same.
Really
it's so ingrained in it.
Yeah. So sorry for interrupting.
No,
I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
But they're sent on a mission to Bialya. Throughout the episode, we have flashbacks to the mission as people start to come together.
Because everyone's waking up in a different spot. They don't know where they've been for the last 6 months.
They're in a haze.
And so for Miss Martian, 6 months ago, she wasn't even on Earth.
Yep.
And also 6 months ago, there wasn't a team.
No.
So everyone just woke up in a desert like, huh.
That was a crazy party, man.
So Miss Martian's like, hooray, I'm on Earth. That's weird. Yeah. And for some reason, she, in her mind, goes from speaking Martian to English when she realizes she's on Earth.
Well, I think that's so cute. That shows you that for a long time coming, she has wanted to go to Earth, and as soon as she's on Earth, she's like, well, time to be an Earth person.
I don't want to be controversial, start problems. So maybe we can cut this if we want. But she's clearly okay, I don't want to say clearly. There are aspects of her that I think are very... parallel to I'm not saying this right, but like, you know, she's
Just
like
say the words.
she's like a trans person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So
a trans
it's-
experience.
So that's
character,
like
absolutely.
I you know, not again to get too heady or up my own ass,
Mhm.
but I actually think that kind of speaks to that of like, you know, once she realizes on Earth and she can live her truth, she starts thinking in Earth language because that's her truth, even though that's not genetically what she was dished out. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. I didn't go there immediately. I thought that she was
Oh,
more
I just-
like
I'm-
an immigrant or like a refugee.
Right.
Like that she was so done with her old life. She came here. She's ready for the melting
I
pot.
think it's bigger than refugee with her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I can see
that's
it.
why
With
I
everything that we learned about her later on, I
Mhm.
can definitely see how
exactly.
that comes through.
I'm also
Yeah.
attaching that to it. So okay, I'm so sorry. So
Yeah, don't worry about
they like JoJo said, we also Wally runs into Artemis
Yeah.
in like this it's a shack.
or something,
Right?
Yeah,
She wakes up in the shack,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She wakes up in a shack, and Wally's like, well, they wake up together, and he's just kind of like, hey, you know, it's me, Kid Flash.
I like your midriff.
Yeah.
Kid Flash doesn't wear black.
No. Yeah.
Call
He's
back
like,
this
yeah,
stuff.
I don't know.
So good.
What else? Oh yeah, this is the episode with Simon.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Simon
Simon.
Introduction
says-
of Simon.
Simon says.
So-
Never heard of this character before.
Me neither.
Same.
He also, like a lot of DC villains, sound like Venture Brother villains to
Yeah.
me. Simon says.
I think an interesting thing about us is we're all well, maybe you lean more towards indie because I've seen your comics, but we're all a slightly little bit more Marvel boys.
I like DC.
I like DC.
Yeah.
I like Star Trek
Yeah.
and Star Wars. I refuse to have someone make me pick.
No, yeah, I don't.
But
I've
I
definitely
lean
warmed.
more towards Marvel.
I've warmed way into the DC.
He is. I should show you his collection. He has interesting taste.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
not an indie. I'm so lame with my comic choice. It's all DC or
I,
Marvel. It's
so mainstream.
I'm,
Yeah, it
no,
is.
No, no,
It's
I'm
very-
so sorry about. I'm so sorry about this digression. But there's this comic called Chew. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, choose so
Chew's really good, and it's one of the few indie comics. I saw it in there, and I was like, "There's so many things about you that I'm like, I'm glad I'm friends with this guy."
Man, choose great. That'll probably be your homework.
No, I've read it all.
No, his homework.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So,
we
how
meet
did they
Simon.
get together? I don't remember.
How
How did they
all
start
kinda run into each
individually
other.
meeting?
Well,
in
so-
what order?
So, Miss Martian is the first to encounter Superboy,
Yes.
right? And then she has that
Superboy
flashback.
6 months ago didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well, he
he's
did
just-
exist. He just was.
Oh
locked in
yeah,
a
he
coop.
wasn't programmed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or I don't
Properly?
know. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't.
He's a
Prince.
blank slate.
Right,
He's
exactly.
just this raw.
He's rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he is. So she has an encounter with him. She has a flashback. She remembers who he is. So she's trying to help him as he rushes away. Then it's Robin.
Yeah.
Robin runs into Wally and Artemis.
And Artemis, yeah.
Yes,
Who do
because-
want running.
Oh, here's what happens. Robin has a tracker to the device they were setting up.
Yep.
So he goes back to the device.
Right.
A bunch of soldiers pop out of the sand because he doesn't remember that they were basically
Yes.
found there.
Yeah.
Soldiers pop out of the sand. Robin throws down smoke bombs, starts taking apart the soldiers, actually does a kick-ass job, gets cornered by 3 of them. Boom! Wally.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wally and Artemis. And then I think, and also Miss Martian shows up then too, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when Wally meets Artemis, they encounter Superboy as well because they're getting attacked by tanks. And,
Yes.
and Superboy is able to dismantle a tank,
Yeah.
which is wonderful.
Yes.
It's just super great.
Fantastic.
He's
Then he jumps
he's
off.
Wolverine. And
At that point,
I
yeah.
love him.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
So then they leave. Everybody meets up again. They get their memories
They
combined
psychic
with the
link up,
with
sort
the
of.
exception of Superboy.
Yeah, with the
Superboy
exception of
isn't there.
Superboy.
And they realize
They forgot Aqualad.
Calder's missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
In
And
the
also,
fucking desert.
bingo. You know where you don't want to be lost and your friends don't know that you were even there if you're Atlantean?
Yeah.
The Bialya
It's-
Desert.
You got gills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they plan a mission to go find Aqualad. They're able to find him. Is he being camped by soldiers?
No.
He's just
They-
like passed out.
They
Okay.
find him, and in finding him is actually when they link up,
Okay,
gentlemen.
gotcha.
And that's when everyone remembers the mission, mostly everything except for how they got dispersed in the first
Yep.
place.
Well, they link up
So-
before they find Aqualad.
Okay, so once they find Aqualad, they have way more information. And
Yes.
They remember the mission and almost everything except for what happened.
Yeah.
So Megan remembers, oh, I actually really like him. I have to go get Superboy.
Yeah,
she
he's
is
cute.
Yeah,
He's a cutie with the booty.
he's a cutie. He looks like the guy from that show I have designed my life after. I gots to go get him. So she goes flying off, and a really great, guys, that's why he might be my favorite character in the show. Robin goes, wait, don't. We don't know what happened to us.
Yeah.
But she's emotionally driven, and she goes flying off. She comes across a lab where there's this sphere. Mm-hmm. And they're doing stuff to it, and it is screaming.
I wrote in my notes, Sphere! Because I like Sphere.
It's not screaming in the sense, to me, it doesn't have a voice.
No, it's screaming out mentally.
It sounds distressed if you're watching it. And then
Yeah.
also, there's Superboy, no shirt on.
Yeah.
You're welcome, ladies.
And they're just kind of like tasing him.
They're just zapping them.
You know, like,
Yeah, well, I feel like that's Evil Scientist 101.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
true.
let's put him on the table and zap him.
Yeah.
And then we'll...
It's
I
like
don't know. When he
in
passes
the-
out, we'll cut him open?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the go-to, like, when you're hiring henchmen, you just put them in a room with somebody, and you're just like, let's see how long it takes them to tase them.
Or no, have you ever done one of those, like, getting hired tests online where they ask you all kinds of...
yeah,
an
yeah,
employee
yeah.
tells you that... Or you find out another employee is stealing.
Yeah,
Do you,
yeah.
A, tell a manager?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they ask you when...
tase them?
Yeah. An interloper breaks into the hideout. Do you A, strap them to a table and start tasing them? So she comes
I
across...
applied for LexCorp.
She comes across this, and she's invisible.
Yep.
She comes in, and there's a hooded figure.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we
With
talk
all these
about
Beyond
Simon?
stickers.
Yeah,
Simon scares the crap out of me.
He's really spooky.
I don't like that I can see his brain.
Yeah.
As not in my top 10 things I'd like to see in a person.
Anyone do any research on Simon?
No.
Did he
He-
grow his brain? Is he a mad scientist?
I know he is from the comics, and that's the end of my knowledge. The end.
I love us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always
And I
even
think he
ground.
does
It's
look
never
like
an
that.
We
Anakin
do
Obi-Wan.
enough homework as is.
Yeah, and I think he does
We
look like
we
that.
bring enthusiasm, and I think that's worth more than homework.
Regardless, so Simon is able to find an invisible Miss Martian.
Yes.
And
Let's describe what he looks like. Let's just all
he
three
looks
of us.
like a.
So he's not very tall in the comics. I mean, in the show. I would say, like, if, let's say Batman is average adult height, and then let's say Robin is probably the shortest character, right? He's Miss Martian height.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He has
5'4" to 5'6".
you can
maybe.
see his brain, but it's almost like it's in a
It's
in
in
a
a
fishbowl.
bubble. Yes.
Yeah,
Almost
and then-
like if for the anime fans out there, in a Dr. Giro type fashion, his head,
yeah.
his head is invisible.
a fellow chucker, eh?
Yeah.
But then also on top of that, he has a very pink hue of his skin, and
Yes.
the part of his
It almost looks like a membrane, I would say.
yes,
You know?
his skin tone.
Yes.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
what's
And
unpleasant
then
about it.
what's
Well, no,
even
everything's
more
unpleasant about it. It's
what's
just
even
bad.
more strange is there are these fellas.
They're like
you're
skin
artists.
flaps.
Yes, they're flaps that get thinner and thinner, almost to like they're like tendrils.
I'm looking at him, and
They're
that's
like
what
a
they
rat
are.
Tied
Like, yeah.
Yes.
over
It's a rat tail.
over the globe. So it's almost like, you know, ladies and gentlemen of our listenership, Dave, it's almost like if you had a comb over, but you were doing it with skin.
Yeah.
If you had a comb over and we're doing it wrong, like you
wow.
don't do that.
I've been spelling Simon's name wrong this whole time.
How do you
Is it
spell it?
SYMON?
It's PSI.
PSI.
MON.
Because he's psychic.
Simon.
Ha ha.
I spelled it like Simon Says. But you say Simon Says, so
For
says
the
isn't
record,
spelled with
for
a
the
P.
record, my hand is in my forehead and I'm shaking.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
So,
TC.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
so let's get into highlights for from the episode. After they get to...
Well,
or
this is
after-
when we really get into it.
Right, after Miss Martian gets there, she gets knocked out again, blah, 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 blah.
Psychic plane.
Yeah.
Psychic plane.
Psychic plane fight.
She gives Connor his memories back.
Yes.
They hold hands.
Mm-hmm. Kick his psychic butt.
Very Gene and Scott, if you ask me.
It is very Gene and Scott.
So, she gives him his memories back. He then breaks out, right? He breaks out and starts doing stuff
I
because
think
she's having the mental
It
battle.
all
with Simon.
happens in the brain, though.
Yeah, it
she
all
gives him
happens
his
in the
memories back, and then he's like,
Kick his psychic butt.
Kick his psychic butt.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, okay, do it. And then I think that's
Can I get that one more time?
I
Can't.
I
There's
really
no
could.
way.
I hope it got.
I had
up.
the same instincts, but he's my brother. I know.
And my brother.
And I think Superboy beats up a bunch of the dudes, the henchmen, and then goes back into the psychic fight.
Yeah, that's
and then
that's what I'm talking about.
And then they join forces, kind of G Gundam style, and use their love to defeat Simon.
But also, once they get out, there's that sphere.
Yes.
Sphere.
Yes, they free the sphere.
Yeah, who's happy to see them.
And how's
Can
that
I keep
episode
it?
end?
Yeah, they leave. Well,
Can I keep it? Is that what he says?
Yeah.
I remember that he does it.
Yeah, and then it ends with Megan sort of psychically communicating that she got Superboy, not realizing that Aqualad has not been readjusted, and Aqualad wakes up with Miss Martian in his brain, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then she goes, "Oh yeah, hello,
Megan." That's how we should have started this episode.
Well,
and
okay.
I thought that to myself too.
Hello, Megan.
Well, you had to go for your captain metaphor.
I know.
And that's
Admiral Big Dig.
that's bereft.
Yes.
That is bereft. That's all I got.
Honestly,
Real quick,
the biggest things to come out of that episode are
0 to 5 for you guys.
Our sphere.
0 to 5.
Oh,
Sphere.
for bereft.
Yeah.
I give it a solid 3.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.5.
Completely passable.
Yeah.
I'm with Vince. I'll give it a solid 3. Biggest things like
Biggest thing, Sphere. You have Wally and Artemis.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
Really.
pretty much it. Yeah, I like the.
You see
yeah.
Simon, who is
Oh.
part of the light.
Simon's definitely one of the biggest things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Simon's
He's
important.
he is a really cool villain. I don't know. I can't speak for the table, but I enjoy it.
I like Simon.
Kill
Yeah.
again!
I like a good.
I like the
psychic
Simon
man.
Says thing.
Yeah,
too.
the Simon Says like
Yeah,
trope is really cool.
Yeah,
I dig
I'm
it,
on board. I'm on board. In a cartoon, I have a feeling in like a Titans
not
type show, I
translate.
wouldn't
Yeah.
dig it.
And then next is Target.
Episode 10. This is the Relasia.
Yes.
So they go from one fake
Is Targets also wait,
Eastern country to another
gentlemen?
one.
What's Targets?
Okay, Targets is the episode where Red Arrow is attempting to protect the Relasian diplomats.
Ambassador.
Yes, ambassadors. Ambassadors, more correct. The Relasian ambassadors, North and South Relation.
This is
And
a
the,
Lex Luthor
and the
episode.
Peacemaker,
Yes, it
who
is.
is Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
Yes.
surprise Lex Luthor. And so awesome.
Lex Luthor always cool and collected in this episode.
I literally
Even
wrote,
after
assassin-
so many assassination attempts, the dude's just like, I still got stuff to do.
I literally wrote that down verbatim. Lex Luthor, cool and collected, because it's what I love so much about him. This is my favorite Lex Luthor. I haven't read a ton of like Superman comics out there, but I love this Lex Luthor adaptation. It's really
Vince
up there.
I
has
can give you a few.
Vince has a Luthor comic
Oh,
that I read this week.
that you like.
It's you. Let's talk about Young Justice.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
So, big things that happen this episode. It's another Cheshire attack.
Yes.
Sportsmaster attack.
Yes.
Is this the episode where the mole?
Yes. He
So-
incites deceit within the group.
Yes.
But okay, so there's a great exchange. I really wanted to mention this last week. We didn't get to it, so I was able to remember and write it down. There's a really awesome exchange between Cheshire and Red Arrow when she's in jail after she's captured in this sort of cold open assassination attempt. She's in jail, and Red Arrow says, "I think you know what I'm after." And she says, "I do actually. Do you?"
Oh,
I had never noticed it, and I'm like, "Fucking Christ!" That's
The show
awesome.
is so well written.
So good. That's so good, and it's like completely whoop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's this. It's got layers.
Yeah.
it's so
It's
good.
like a parfait.
Yeah, it is precisely like.
I like a good parfait.
Delicious
Oh.
little tasty.
So, all right. So the Malaysia, like we've said so many times, is like a North Korea,
Yeah,
South
it's a
Korea
North
situation.
Korea, South Korea.
So there's dissent. There's some kind of diplomatic meeting. Some kind of summit.
Yeah.
And Lex shows up as like the peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
An assassination attempt is made on him. Red Arrow is there.
He's there
Why?
exclusively to.
But has he been
He
tracking
does-
the League of
He's
Shadows?
tracking Cheshire and the League of Shadows
Okay.
in general.
Yes.
And now, what's going on in the team in this episode? Because we're cutting away to
the team, we got the first high school antics because Connor and Miss Martian are going to school. Connor gets his name for the first time.
Connor chooses his name to honor Dr. Fate.
Yes, Kent.
Kent.
Yes,
Connor Kent.
Yep.
Shouldn't I be Connor Nelson?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Who is it? Who's there?
Dumb, stupid.
Who is it that is like, no, Kent's perfect?
No, it's Jean. Manhunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manhunter is like, you should be Kent. And he's like, yeah, that's why.
It's so good.
And, they go to school. Miss Martian...
I love the idea that Justice League is this little family.
Yeah.
Where, like, Batman's, like, the weird older brother that's watching everyone.
Batman's
Uncle.
dad.
Yeah, or
Batman's
dad.
No, not in this scenario. Like, there's this weird, like... Because everyone's a peer. Like, I don't want to make Batman dad. Like, in the Justice League, like, Batman's, like, the oldest brother. And then, like, Superman's the brother who does everything right. And then, like, fine, Batman's dad.
Batman's dad.
Just see the faces I'm getting right now. All right, so moving on. I'm sorry. It was a weird tangent.
Call a dad a dad.
Yeah.
So, they're going to school.
Oh, yeah. They go to school.
We meet Malcolm.
Miss Martian tries out for the bumblebees. She gets it.
Do we care about that?
Hey, man, you see Superboy almost murder like 3 cheerleaders.
He does.
Because they
falls.
Yeah, but he was
what a
because Miss Martian was just like, don't. It's okay.
Yeah.
And she gets the team. She's a bumblebee girl. That's something that kind of bothers me because in the first season,
you know who that is?
Bumblebee. It's Bumblebee.
No, you know that actress?
No.
That's that is the same actress. Her name escapes me right now. I apologize, but that is the same actress who does the boys from Moondocks.
Okay. Wow.
So I actually think they were like, could you just do Riley?
Maybe.
But a lady.
Yeah, sure.
I might be projecting that onto it.
Yeah.
But they might have been like, hey, we really like Riley, but just do that for Bumblebee. Because
she always says girl.
Yes.
Yeah. That's her go-to.
That's her go-to. And and that's pretty much it. That's cool.
Yeah.
They talk about Ralasia. We get some Ralasia info.
Red Arrow tracks after Cheshire breaks out, right?
Yeah.
She breaks out of jail.
There's another great jail line where she's talking about the team. Like, shouldn't you be hanging out with the little teen club? And I'm especially interested in archery girl.
That's so great.
Smooth.
I love how people in TV shows can't lie. It's so good. Like, lying is super easy. And nobody gets it right.
Not even expert assassins have a hard time keeping it straight. I don't know. There's she gets broken out of jail by Sportsmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And
he tracks them back to this weird basey thing.
Yeah.
They are reporting to the Master of the League of Shadows, Ra's al Ghul. Raj al Ghul? Wow. Ra's al Ghul. There's this awesome scene where Sportsmaster and Cheshire are checking in with the Master, and Red Arrow is staring on top of a roof of the little fort that they're in.
Also, how do you normally get onto that base? Because it's like an island, right?
It is like an island,
and there's no bridge or anything.
I don't know.
No, I agree with it. It's I guess you ninja walk.
So openly accept things like this.
Same. But I just think it's funny.
I just think of the 12 different there's an underground tunnel probably. Mm-hmm. There's probably a helicopter situation
that
everyone
ferries you
back and forth. But
you walk upon the mist.
There's this cool moment where Ra's al Ghul, he's checking his phone.
Yeah. He doesn't even it's not even a second thought because he knows if I have to take this kid down, I'm gonna take this kid.
But so they're checking in with him, and he says, "All right, cool, do this, but also, why did you bring that boy?"
Yeah,
it's
so good.
He's the I love me a good Ra's al Ghul interpretation, and
I mean. You know what? In Red Arrow's defense, I guess he didn't know exactly that Ra's was going to be there because, the hubris of someone who's like, I'm going to sneak up on Ra's al Ghul. That's something I can do.
There's no way he knew that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
You don't.
Could you imagine buying Christmas presents for Ray Shackle?
It would be very
It'd
difficult.
be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Trying to keep like a surprise
You
party.
have to do Eid. He's Arab.
Maybe he likes Christmas.
I like Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyways.
he's been around.
So he gets Red Arrow starts fighting Cheshire and Sportsmaster, and Sportsmaster taunts him.
Yeah.
And he
Sportsmaster's dope.
Well, and like Vince aptly pointed out, he's a jock bully, so this is not anything you'd necessarily question.
Yeah.
And he was speedy. Mm-hmm. And he says, going by Red Arrow now, eh? More like Broken Arrow. And then we cut away to more high school antics, I think.
Yeah, I think it's more high school.
And we cut back to Red Arrow, and he's in trouble. And Sportsmaster throws a spear at him. He jumps out of the way. An explosion of some kind happened, and I forget exactly how. He jumps into the water and narrowly escapes. Am I right, gentlemen?
Barely makes it out with his life.
Mm-hmm.
True. All true.
Gets back to mainland and calls someone we don't see, and is kind of I hesitate to say humbly, but in a defeated manner, going, "Hey,
Need help.
I think I need you to come out."
Yeah.
And then the episode ends with another assassination attempt by Cheshire on the two Eurasian leaders.
Yeah.
While Lex is there making immense headway in a George Clooney Ocean's 11-esque type manner.
There's also
gentlemen, can't we all appreciate
There's
that?
a really good exchange. Is it between Aquaman and Lex Luthor, or Lex Luthor and Red Arrow? Where
all three of them are there.
Yeah, where he's like, they're questioning him, like, why would you want peace? Like, you're funding both sides. Everybody knows it. Like, that's going to be way more, like, that's going to
profitable
it's
for
going to
you
hurt your
for them to
profits.
be fighting.
And then he goes on to say, well, don't you think it would be more profitable to have two world leaders in my pocket instead of having one of them when one takes over the other?
Yeah.
It's
any Lex
Lex
Luthor
Luthor's
situation is a
stupid.
win-win
Yes.
situation. He's
Yes.
never walking into a situation where he's gonna. Anyways,
Yeah.
Yes.
Lex's
I love him.
and assassination attempt thwarted by Calderon and
Yeah,
Red Arrow.
Calder saves the day.
Mm-hmm.
Come in for the win.
And Red Arrow says to Calderon, "You have a I didn't mention Raish and Sportsmaster and Cheshire, when Red Arrow is watching them, are talking about the mole they have. Or no, they're not.
No,
Sportsmaster taunts him before he throws the thing.
Yeah.
He
He
says that you have a mole on your
You guys
team.
have them all.
So Red Arrow says to Calderon, you have a mole.
Yeah.
Ending of episode. Where do you guys land? 0 to 5.
0 to 5 on that one. I don't really care for this one that much. Personally, I'm like at a 3. Solid.
I would say team-wise, I would give it a 3. Episode as a whole, I'd give it a 4. I think it's good. I think it's good. The parts that aren't in the high school.
As with JoeJoe's Explanation, I give this one a 3. There's nothing I don't specifically like about it, but overall, it's not one of my, I really feel like watching, what's it called? Targets.
I believe.
Yes, targets.
All right, so episode 11.
Terrors.
The Terror Twins.
The
This
Terror
is
Twins.
this is the jailbreak.
Tommy Terror and what's the other one? I can't remember. No.
Tammy?
They wouldn't dare.
It might be Tammy.
It might be Tammy.
Something like that. Anyway, it
Whatever.
doesn't matter. Terror Twins.
So this episode, it starts off with the Terror Twins being captured in secret, and then Superboy and Miss Martian take on the appearance of the Terror Twins as they're being sent to Bel Rev.
All Superboy seems to need to do is dye his hair and put on some punk rock
Yep.
Yeah.
jewelry. And Miss Martian, as we all know, is a shapeshifter, so she can just turn into, I'm naming her Terra.
Yeah.
Terror.
I think it might be, but it's insanely difficult to say.
If I am right by just pulling that out of my...
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, that's me just going, that was a joke. But if that's true and her name is Terra, shame on them. But anyways.
Tuppence.
Pardon?
Tuppence.
Are you having a stroke?
Tommy and Tuppence Terror.
No.
Correct.
No. You can be correct all you want. No. Her name will be Tammy.
Sister Tuppence. Now I remember. Yeah,
Oh.
it's like a weird
Jesus.
like a weird like antebellum name.
What's that voice actor's name? Who does Connor?
Oh, I don't know. He does Superman
also,
too.
Yeah, and he's also Deadpool in
Is he?
old in the Wolverine versus.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that. No, I don't know.
He's Deadpool in the Deadpool video game as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Know this gentleman.
Isn't Nolan North? Deadpool?
Nolan North, thank you.
Okay.
Yep, that's that. He's Connor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, terrible.
This episode pays off episode 1.
Yeah, it does. How about that?
It shows us Belle Reve prison where, through some sort of hijinks, all of the cold villains that were arrested in episode 1 have now been sent to. Mr. Freeze requests it or something like that.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze gets transferred.
Or no, he refuses. No, he refuses to be tried insane. He forces them to try him as sane and gets sent to Belle Reve.
Yeah. Icicle Jr. gets tried as an adult and gets sent to Belle Reve. And
Captain Cold, obviously. Killer Frost, obviously.
And so none of that escapes Batman's... Batman notices that. So he's thrown together this mission where these two members of the team, Superboy and Miss Martian, will infiltrate Belle Reve prison. No one in Belle Reve prison will know that they're not the Terror Twins. Because for all Batman knows, someone at Belle Reve is in on this. Right. Because 6 villains with exactly the same power all found their way to this prison. 3 of them had no business being there.
Yes.
One of them was technically legally insane. Another one is technically legally not an adult. And I forget the third thing. But Batman had 3, the rule of 3. Batman had 3 examples of why this was suspicious.
Right.
So
here we learn that Icicle Sr. is essentially he's a capo in the prison. He's a head honcho. And he has put together a plan to bust out all of the villains in Belle Reve. The way he goes about doing this, he smuggles... It's such a good plan. It's so good. They smuggle in...
Because it's intricate, but it's not unbelievable.
Right.
It's not like a reindeer's game thing where it's like there are so many moving parts. Not really.
I agree. So they smuggle in thermal wear that they can replace their prison. The prison oranges in. They are able to... How do they go about disabling... They break into the warden's office.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze has a fight with Icicle Sr.
Yes,
let's go back a little, and the warden of this prison is...
Amanda Waller.
And she is not your nanny.
No, she ain't having it. You step out of line, you're getting shot.
Yeah.
And then there is also the prison psychiatrist. Dr. Hugo Strange. He is your nanny.
Yes, he is your nanny.
Yes.
Does she also say wet nurse?
Something like that.
Something very...
Yeah.
Like...
Something right up Amanda Waller's alley.
Yeah, I was about to say, Amanda, no matter who is... no matter who's playing you, and no matter who is writing you, they know how to bring it.
Yeah, character's the character.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
So they are able to disable the collars that prevent them from using their powers. They're able to take over the prison.
Which always makes me think of Genosha.
A little, yeah.
Whenever there's a collar you wrap around someone and turn off their powers, I'm always like, come on.
Yeah.
That's Genosha.
I mean, that's also like a very handy plot device to have for superheroes who exist amongst
Invented
us.
And perfected, my friends.
Right.
In a Genosha. So,
they then get to their plan, which is they're going to freeze a wall and have the Cadmus monster, Blockbuster, and they're going to have Mammoth, punch the wall.
Could we not remember his name last time? Did you just do it?
There was a dispute.
No, you thought that it wasn't Mammoth.
Yes.
Okay. It definitely is Mammoth.
Yeah.
So they freeze a wall, they punch the wall. Great plan.
Yeah, character stuff that happens in this episode. The Terror Twins, quote unquote, our team, are being transported in the van with Icicle Jr. And Icicle Jr. takes an immediate liking to Tammy Terror. And strangely enough, says
Tuppence
to her brother, Tammy, hey, your sister's hot.
Yeah. Not a bro move. Not a bro move.
A weird move.
But also...
Certainly.
So, they, I don't know if it's Connor just having like a good kind of like detective skill, but he immediately sort of befriends
Icicle Junior.
Yeah. And in our first moment of them after we're introduced to the rules of the prison and the collars and that Amanda Waller's in charge and we're at lunchtime, it seems like. Icicle and Connor are walking in with their trays. It's very jail moment. Where do you sit?
Yep.
And it's
Very
revealed.
first day of school.
It's revealed that Icicle Senior is his dad, and there's this wonderful moment where Icicle says, he doesn't say sucks, but I'm going to say sucks because I don't know the line.
I think he does say sucks.
No, he says something a little bit more Cartoon Network-y. But, he goes, it sucks when your dad's the man.
Yeah.
And Connor, in character,
He gets it.
but also, boy oh boy, in character goes, yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's
Paul.
And so, we're introduced to this dynamic of, there is this thing happening between Connor and Icicle where there's this common ground.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as Connor is playing a character, something that kind of lubricates that situation is his ability to relate to this character and being like, well, at least relate to this guy and be like, yeah, that does suck, and see what his perspective and what also might be able to pull his strings later on.
Yeah.
Other character stuff.
There isn't a lot that happens with Miss Martian.
Not really.
No.
It's all. Oh, you know what?
She's there as foil for him.
I did want to bring this up, okay, because this has always bothered me a little bit. I don't want to say continuity-wise. It's interesting. Okay, so they have this little therapy session with Hugo Strange, Megan, and Connor.
As the Terror Twins.
Yes, as the Terror Twins. And
Tammy and...
Yeah.
Tammy and Trevor.
Trevor?
No, it's not.
No, I like Trevor.
Yeah, Tammy and Trevor. We're renaming your
Tammy
characters.
and Trevor. So they're in therapy, and Megan sees this as an opportunity to actually maybe help Connor a little bit. Extremely misguided, as often Megan's kind of attempts like this are.
Who would have thought that, maybe a teenager isn't the person to fix another teenager's mental state?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so she kind of pulls his strings, pushes his buttons a little bit, and Connor snaps and says that he, unlike her, he doesn't live in a fantasy world where everything gets fixed in half an hour. But this is before. So in the Hello Megan, we already talked about spoilers. In the actual Hello Megan episode, Connor acts like he's never seen it before.
I have a justification for this. Martians love television.
Yeah.
They're dating at this point.
Yeah. And it's on all the time.
They live together too.
Yeah.
She probably watches so much TV with him.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be Hello Megan. I
don't think this is related to Hello Megan. It has everything to do with Martians love television.
Okay.
Connor is dating this girl.
That's fair.
She probably, and I mean, this is it's a very TV thing she's doing.
That's fair.
Where he's going, we don't just talk about this right now with this doctor and then it's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't see why I'm going to talk about it.
No. You got me.
Yeah.
Totally.
So the episode proceeds.
Channeling you there.
Yeah, I get it. Look at you defending this. So the episode proceeds with Superboy able to sort of manipulate Icicle Jr. by telling him, oh, well, your pa would want this because I'm getting... They establish early on that the Terror Twins have this telepathic link that they don't tell people about because...
Well, he fibs about that.
Yeah.
So that he can get into the
exactly.
heist.
Yep. Yeah. So he says that his sister is alerting them that the collar's going to get turned back on. Icicle Jr. goes and is able to stop a couple of villains who are blocking the way to the warden's office. They're able to get in. Superboy then reactivates the collars, which causes the plan to sort of fall apart.
Let's talk about, something that I think is interesting about Connor is that, why would he have these skills? Why would he have these instincts to fib and to know how to manipulate someone and to know... And here's the answer, is that he was designed to be a weapon. And that might
he was
very much include clandestine missions like this.
Mm-hmm.
So... Whenever I'm watching an episode like this, and he is showing a huge aptitude in not just smashing a wall down, but kind of nuance and subtlety in relationships and how to pull strings and stuff. Kryptonians are smart.
He's a heavy and a face.
And he's half Kryptonian. There's this part of me that is so willing to accept this because it's he was designed.
Yeah, sure.
He was designed to do maybe
programmed.
stuff like this.
Exactly.
I don't think the idea was we'll cook us up a Superboy and then we'll just throw him at the Justice League. I'm sure if the boys didn't discover him, the plan was to plant him.
Yep.
Was to maybe make them like him. Make him, you know what I mean?
The original, operandi for the project was we need a Superman regardless.
But
so if anything happens to Superman, we have a backup.
Right. But
then you have the Light who's...
There was a time that when I was watching this episode, I was going, he's being too Batman.
Okay.
But I have come to a place of no, he's not. He's being a person who understands human relationships. He's being a person who's mission-oriented. He's being a person who, frankly, if I was cooking myself up a weapon, I would make sure this shit was in there. Especially if I'm Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? And Lex Luthor has a vested interest in this particular
very
gentleman.
much so, yes.
Anyways.
Okay.
That was my tangent about this episode. And Superboy's real, he's really leading the charge and showing a lot of... I'm not finding the right word. I keep saying subtlety and nuance. He's showing a lot of aptitude in kind of recognizing the tiny strings he has to pull to get there. He's not just being this blunt instrument that, frankly, in the show, he's mostly only been.
Yeah, this is a good point you're making. It's kind of interesting that, because up until this mission, there's no evidence that he could pull something like this off.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't. But it's never occurred to me that
he's not good at relating to people.
No, yeah.
And so the fact that he's so good at infiltrating this place, staying in character.
I've always bought it though, by the way.
Right now, the sleeper agent was
I used to have a hard time with this episode.
Sure, no,
I
that's
used to
fair,
not
though.
buy it.
I've never
I came
thought
to
about
a
it.
place of accepting it.
Yeah.
Because even when he fibs about having the psychic connection with his sister and is like, well, it doesn't pay to advertise. It's like, whoa! This is some real Batman pretending he's Joey Match stuff.
Well, how about this?
Malone.
I think at this point,
That's the name, right? Though
Matches Malone.
Matches Malone.
Okay.
I am so sorry. You complete me.
Fake fan.
Yeah.
I think at this point,
I say something nice and he doesn't.
I think at this point, Connor has been around the team for a long time, and as you say, he's half Kryptonian, so is just absorbing a lot of this, intake, and
I buy that too.
I think is slowly incorporating these things into how he should act, because these are the only people he's ever known or trusted at all.
I just didn't want to get past this episode without bringing that up.
No,
It's something I thought about so much when watching.
No.
It's not even one of my favorites, but it's because this show is layered. When I watch it, I do ask myself questions like that and find answers that are like, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
All right.
So, moving on.
They thwart the heist.
They thwart the heist. Miss Martian gets found out. She gets frozen.
We got to talk about Riddler.
Riddler.
So, throughout the entire episode, Riddler is shit on.
Yeah, he is dunked.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody wants to eat with him.
He's a goof. Get out of here, Nigma. Are you some type of riddle guy?
Everyone.
It's my favorite episode of Gotham, by the way.
Okay, I'll start. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. But everyone try to do a quick impression of that guy's interpretation of Riddler.
Okay.
I'm going to do mine first.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to say, hi guys, it's me, Riddler.
Okay.
Hi guys, it's me, Riddler.
All right. I think mine is something more like first time ever. Hi guys, it's me, Riddler.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you guys are good. But I think when I watched it, it was like, Assaultants, it's your boy Riddler.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah, that was it.
Anyways, obviously from
You guys didn't check the cast notes
Yeah,
there because your boy was the voice actor for Riddler.
Yeah.
Hear me now.
Yeah.
He's even depicted as just nasally.
Yeah.
And so
he's the kid in school who you would take his lunch money even if you didn't want.
In the episode, it's so sparsely peppered in there. It's pointed, but it's sparsely peppered in. But you just ignore it because he's clearly a nerd.
Yeah.
And everyone's just but they're also threatening him and really making fun of him. You
Yeah.
sort of feel bad for him.
I feel a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I don't know the cornrow gentleman's name, but
No,
he's
I can't
particularly mean to
he
him.
is very mean to him. Yeah.
He's particularly. So the episode ends with after the heist gets thwarted, Amanda Waller is checking, or Amanda Waller is no longer the warden of the prison.
Yeah.
It gets turned over.
She lost control of the prison.
Yeah.
It gets turned over to Hugo Strange, and somebody's reporting in that everybody's back except they can't find the Riddler.
Yeah.
Who has escaped, because obviously he would. He's the smartest dude. Like, he's obviously found out the plan, made it work for him.
But then end of the episode, Hugo Strange and Icicle Senior are shaking hands.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
And they say, went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
It didn't go exactly the way we wanted, but all the main objectives were hit.
Oh, Xanatos Gambit.
Yeah. They did the thing.
Your boy. Okay. So next episode is Homefront.
Yes.
Holy shit. What episode is that?
This episode is
Number.
Artemis and Robin.
Is this 13?
This is episode 12.
Guys, we've been talking for an hour.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. This is what I was saying. I was trying to say.
We're going to have to do
This
a part
is gonna
3.
be a part
It might
3.
be
I
part
can tell.
3 part.
I'm fine with
And
it.
we've gotten
I'm fine with
so
it, too.
less far than we did previous.
I
I
thought
feel
we
like
were
this is
doing
going better.
good.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going
I feel like
better.
this is going. We have
Oh, but
notes.
real quick, 0 to 5. 4.
Oh, right.
I'm going to go 4.
I really like this episode. I'll go
4
4.
also,
Yeah,
yes.
I think
like
the
this.
Icicle character stuff in this
Yeah, me
really
too.
hits me.
I feel bad for Icicle Jr. in this.
That's the
Mostly-
thing that I think the episode does
Yeah,
best.
I think I would watch, I would read through a solo book of Icicle Jr.
Yeah,
because there's so much to unpack there.
Well, we didn't say well enough that, like, Connor really screws him. He takes
Yes!
complete advantage of their friendship.
Yes.
if we
Because
weren't
Icicle
watching
trusts-
this,
Yes.
if we weren't watching this through the lens of we know who the good guys are, we know who the bad guys are, I'm
Hate Connor.
Icicle Jr.
Yeah.
I'm Icicle Jr. I want my dad's
Yeah.
affection,
Yeah.
and I can't get it. And I meet this cool dude, and he has a hot sister.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't have the most like.
He's being cool to me. I'm imagining, like, team-ups where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm dating his sister.
Yeah.
We're best friends. They got super strength. I got ice powers.
So good.
Oh, my God. Wait till we get out of here.
Yeah, and then bam, nothing.
Then nothing, and he's the one. He's the one who causes the plan to fail.
Yeah.
And there's this
ultimately.
great moment where they're both still their terror twins, and he
Dad's
breaks her
gonna
out of an
kill me.
ice. He
That
breaks
was
her-
really good.
Yeah.
He breaks her out of an icicle thing, and they're still the terror twins, and they start kissing. And he goes, "Dude, that's your sister."
Yeah, yeah.
And then she turns into Miss Martian, and he has this painful realization.
That all of his team up dreams, they're
Yeah.
they're
It's
not
rough.
feeling so good, Mr. Stark.
And Vince just did do a killer interpretation of it. You know, my dad's gonna kill me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
I always feel very bad for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode.
Yeah.
So
I had to say
Homefront.
that.
Homefront. This
Homefront.
is Artemis and Robin dealing with Red Tornado's brother and sister.
Yes.
This is the episode. This is a hard episode to watch.
It's a tough one.
Not because it's bad,
No,
because
it's
is
excellent.
rough. Like,
Yeah.
I have spoilers for at the end of this one.
Oh.
Or not spoilers, but I have big
Yeah,
feelings
yeah.
about this one.
No.
Yeah.
This episode
We might
rules.
take longer than the episode to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about this
Oh,
one. I
boy.
love this episode.
okay, so Artemis and Robin meet up outside or in Gotham.
No, this episode starts with Artemis in
No.
her apartment with. I'm so sorry.
My
This is-
bad. I'll see myself out.
Yeah.
See you guys later. I'll edit it. Like,
Episode opens with Artemis and her mother, and Artemis is regaling her mother with tales of being on the team.
nope.
You're mixing it up with
You're
another
also
artist.
wrong.
I just got Bruce Wayne finger or
Yeah.
Bruce Lee finger
Yeah,
from
you,
it.
yes, you did.
Yeah.
Boards.
No.
Don't
No.
hit back.
Yeah.
No, this is Artemis's
Go.
mother telling her about the Gotham Academy, right?
Well, this is her first day at school at the Gotham Academy, and she's having dreams about Cheshire. She's having dreams about Cheshire and Cheshire leaving for the first time. See, this is from the show.
I know what episode I was conflating it
Yes,
with.
you do now.
Okay.
The show wants us to be surprised at this point that they're related, and I guess it is a surprise. They towed along the whole episode, even though we see them together in the beginning, and it's like, well, that's Cheshire, and there's a Cheshire cat right behind her. So
Gandalf,
that's
my
them.
friend, tonight will be a night to remember. I'm sorry. Visual gag.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, And it's her first day at the Gotham Academy, and Dick runs up to her and takes a selfie with her.
You'll find this funny later.
Yeah.
We'll laugh about this one day.
Yeah, we'll laugh about this one day. She doesn't know it's...
Guys, when we do
Who
our...
is that?
A
freshman?
When we do our season 2 run...
Oh, that's great.
We'll laugh about this one day as a...
Yes.
Dear listeners, we'll laugh about this one day as a big line for me.
Yeah, and it's... also, we see Barbara, too, at Gotham Academy.
Yeah. Dick runs up, takes a quick selfie. We'll laugh about this one day. Boom! He's gone.
Yeah.
She turns around. He's gone.
Yeah.
Who does that? That's weird.
You know who
I
does
don't know
that.
anyone who does that.
Yeah.
This is...
In Gotham!
And then, about, what would you guys say? 100 yards away, in a, little hallway, there's a redhead and a short, dark-haired boy.
Yep.
Tickling around his phone. The redhead says, Dick, what was that about? And he says, oh, Barbara, just being friendly to the new kids.
So great.
That's worth saying to me because I love that character.
Yeah,
I love this.
I know.
I love this Dick Grayson. I have an affinity for the oldest boys in the family.
Let's get to the meat.
All right, sorry.
So, the main issue of this episode is Robin, Artemis, get back to the cave, can't find anybody.
No, not to know you again. He goes in the transport force. Robin B2 or something like that, or 2B, however they do it. She goes in after him. Robin busts her balls a little for coming into the cave at the same Gotham entrance as him. What are you doing in Gotham?
Yeah, exactly.
Spelling bee.
So great.
She zooms in a little after him because her balls are just being busted by Robin.
Mm-hmm.
So she zooms in a little transports in. She hears Robin go, jump!
Yep.
Because then a fireball hits inside the transporter. She jumps out of the way. Fire everywhere. They jump in. Do they jump into the water then? They're on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't see anything at first.
We don't
There's
know what's
fire
putting them on the back foot.
everywhere. They're on the run. They go into a library.
Yeah. Well,
They're on the run. They go into a kitchen. They go into a
Eventually,
library.
They make their way throughout the entire cave.
They go into a library. They hear a chunk, 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 and a familiar voice say, Robin, Artemis.
Yes. This is the dear
it sounds
voice
like Red Tornado.
of
Yeah.
Red Tornado.
They come out. It ain't Red Tornado.
Mm-mm.
It's a robot that looks kind of like Red Tornado, but then throws some more fireballs at them. They run down the bookcases some more. Guess what? Secret bookcase. No.
they go into the bathroom.
They go into the bathroom.
Yes, they go into the bathroom. The bathroom gets flooded. There's another robot. Oh, no!
It controls water.
Yes. Get Trot.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't talked about the whelmed of it all.
No, we really didn't talk about that at all. I guess it's worth mentioning because...
How do we explain this?
Robin is
obsession.
obsessed with words, I guess.
He's obsessed with the origin of words.
Well, he's
prefixes. He's obsessed
prefixes
with prefixes
and where they fit into the lexicon.
Yes.
People are always underwhelmed and overwhelmed. No one's ever whelmed.
Yes.
People are always distraught. They're never just trot. So there's this wonderful moment where they're being chased left and right. It's halfway through the episode. These two robots are trying to drown them or set them on fire. They are in their home. For all they know, their friends are dead.
Yep.
Artemis is freaking out, and they're in these air ducts. And he says, she screams and freaks out and says this long kind of quick, fast monologue. And Robin says, very coolly, you seem distraught.
Get Trot.
And then he says, get Trot. And then she says, how are you so calm right now? This is my favorite line in the episode, and it's all in performance. He says, very dismissively, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old.
Oh, so good.
It's so good. It is my... it's all in performance.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah, it's all credit to that voice actor. The way he says, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. Because it's not bragging. It is just, this is why I'm good at multiplication.
Right.
My dad made me start doing this when I was 9. This is just a fact of my life.
So,
gentlemen,
Robin's able to hack into the security systems. He finds that they're the two robots. It's Red Inferno, Red Torpedo.
Yeah.
have captured the rest of the Young Justice team. They give them a weirdly long time limit.
Yeah,
yeah, they do. It's like 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
We also see an interesting character point where the team, before they're being kidnapped, is talking about people's loyalties.
Yep. Yeah.
In a very, because Caldor is poking around in a very not obtrusive way.
Yeah, well, this is significant to the next episode.
Yeah.
But yes, he's trying to find, what's going on.
He's just
with
putting
the
his
mole
feelers
here.
out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he also doesn't know if there is a mole. He's going off of a villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's just a great thing that the show does. We haven't not gone back to that.
Right.
And it's significant. Artemis notes this because he says something specifically about Artemis. He's like, what about Artemis's loyalties?
Mm-hmm.
And Artemis makes a face at that because she's already self-conscious, and this sort of just magnifies that.
Yeah. So his...
But wait, sorry.
Please.
Something I did want to say about this episode. So something I love about this episode, which is, I guess you could almost say it's a trope in a superhero team type show like this, but I think it's extremely well executed in this show, of the episode where we see why the non-powered characters are worthwhile and significant.
Hell yeah.
And capable.
Yep. Because that's a big thing with Artemis. The
Yes.
entire episode. She's just
Precisely.
like, we don't have superpowers. How are we going to beat two super powered things?
Yes.
And Robin is so cool.
Yeah, and Robin's cool about it. And I feel like...
I don't mean cool in that, I mean, he's very collected.
Yes.
The whole time.
And I think, although it is commented on, it's not like... It's not as beat over your head as it can be.
It's done in a very
certain other
organic way.
Yes.
It's just like, this is how Artemis would react, and Robin is the perfect character to have right there next to her.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, if anybody else was there, it's just, yeah, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Because it's not her lack of ability, it's 100% her lack of confidence. It's 100% the battle internally, not externally.
Yes.
For her, right now.
Yes.
And so to put her next to this guy who doesn't necessarily struggle with those particular things, is it's not just a black and white thing. It's the opposite. It's like, this is the gray that you should be existing in.
Yeah.
Should be. This is the gray that might be healthier for you to exist in.
Doing that thing that Vince always does, where I read into the subtext of things a little too much.
Please do.
I sort of felt as though Robin already had this discussion, like this exact same discussion with Batman.
Oh, yes.
Like, it feels like something
there's
that,
another episode where Robin is, like, reliving his own first mission where he's, like, flipping out.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, he's going up against Clayface or something like that.
Yeah.
He's just like, that's an actual monster.
Right.
And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little boy.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah, and then you have... he is being Batman.
See, this is why this show is so good. Because it does... It lets you logically bridge the gaps. Mm-hmm. We're three different people, and all of us are just like, no, it makes sense. And there's this kind of common narrative that even if our specifics are different, we're all going, yup, that tracks.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's that type of cohesion is so rare. You know, how often have all of us, as like nerdy science fiction fans, have to just go, oh no, well, that just happened. You don't pay attention to that. And then with this show, there's so rare moments of that. And this episode is such a good microcosm of that. Of like, there's nothing epic necessarily going on. These two robots are chasing the two least powered characters in the show. And it's my favorite episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think this show does a thing that I would say... the greatest compliment I can give anything, it's something that Hunter x Hunter does as well, where it will take a trope or a concept you're familiar with and execute it in the greatest way possible and also subvert your expectations slightly. Mm-hmm. And that's like Young Justice completely, in my opinion.
And this episode even has like that, like, it builds up to that last moment of, you can do it. You specifically can do it. Nobody else could do the thing that you have to do.
Yeah.
At the same time, the whole team is helping.
Yes.
Wally's
trying to get their attention. You have
not just that. Wally's trying to get their
Red
attention.
tomato.
But like,
what are you, red onion?
but also there's this Robin's a great hacker, but Wally is a scientist.
Yes.
So you need Wally to go, this is how you build an EMP.
On the go.
Yeah. Like, there's a shorthand that Robin and Wally can both have because they're incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
But there's also, Wally's an
And
engineer.
they're also friends. Like, they're friends before the series starts. So
But,
you
like,
have that aspect
Wally's
of it as
an
well.
engineer, and Robin is a
Genius.
installer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, which is not to say that Wally won't get his hands dirty.
Right.
But, like, Wally knows how to put together the software, or how to implement the software with the hardware.
Right.
And Robin knows where to put the hardware.
How to get it there.
Yeah.
So, long and short of the episode, Red Inferno, Red Torpedo, they're attacking.
Artemis is down to her last arrow.
Artemis is down to her last arrow. Robin talks to Wally about building an EMP. He goes to set it up. It's missing one piece of metal to complete the circuit. Artemis fires the shot. Well, the entire team's life's in danger. You have Aqualad and
but
Miss
also
Martian in a cage of
Are
fire.
you about to say what I was going to say?
Well,
Robin gets taken out.
Yeah, Robin gets taken out, and Artemis has a breakdown, and she's like ready to be like, "Fuck this!
Yeah,
I'll
just
hide.
hide.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll hide and call the League. That's the best thing I can do." And frankly, probably the smartest choice, honestly. If we're getting like reality.
But I love that the script went there.
Yes. And
they had the balls to go. A lot of the times in a show like this, you go, "We can't address that because I don't have a good reason why you can't."
Yeah.
Yep.
But she sees the Cheshire Mask and is like, you know what? Fuck it.
And they found a character good reason for why you can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super good.
And she makes this the dopest shot ever. Like while doing a backflip, I'm pretty sure.
She completes the circuit. EMP blast knocks everything out.
Yeah.
Here's a great. I love Robin. There's a great moment.
I
Do you know what I'm? Will
100
you please?
Oh, sure. So Robin is explaining like exactly what was going on through his head, his whole thought process while installing the thing. And he finished it by going, passed out though. Because he was pretending to drown.
He said, I was pretending to drown.
Yeah.
Passed out though.
Yeah.
Which is such a like.
So good.
Passed out.
Because
he's still a kid.
Yeah,
no, but
exactly.
there's this not
That's
to
what
call
it
back
is.
not to call back our TAS episode, but there's this episode in TAS where Batman disappears in some water for a really long time, and it seems like he definitely should have drowned. And then he pops out and dispatches the bad guy, and Gordon and Robin are there. And Robin says to Gordon, I keep asking him to teach me that. And that, when he goes passed out, though, that makes me think of this weird Venn diagram where maybe that's the same universe.
Just hasn't got taught that lesson
yet. Where
They've been
Dick's
fought killer
like, you know what?
crocodile.
Maybe the trick is I just will myself into staying awake.
Yeah.
No, that didn't work.
No.
He probably just has a gadget. Why would I think that?
It's great. It's a great episode. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of
kidding.
5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
It's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, same. It's a great one.
This is a go-to for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I jump in right here.
Yeah.
And then I go back.
Episode 13.
Yeah.
Alpha Male.
Alpha Male.
Ooh, it's another good one.
Yeah, I like this one a lot because it's a Captain Marvel episode. This is actually our first big Captain Marvel episode.
This is the new Genesis episode?
No.
Oh, this is Le Brain?
Le Brain.
Uh-huh.
Monsieur Mana.
Zebran.
So, the team...
In the flesh.
Where exactly... Do we know where they go? Like,
Some
the
like
Amazon.
some
No, it's not
fake
the Amazon.
India.
African
India.
It's India, you're
Yeah.
right.
Racist.
yeah. So, they're going there. There's bizarre reports of armed animals. A mayor gets killed because he was a poacher.
Yeah.
Facts.
Gotham Mayor.
Yeah.
Gotham Mayor. Yeah.
He gets killed in the ultimate of ironies by a gorilla with a machine gun wearing a beret.
A beret. Comics are great, guys.
Because it's... It's not just a gorilla with a minigun and a beret. It's a gay gorilla with a minigun and a beret.
In love with the brain.
In love with a brain. Oh my goodness.
It's amazing.
So good.
It's very good. So, the team is all frazzled from the attack by the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sort of still debriefing with the Justice League. And Superboy is, he a little bit, he can't help it a little bit. His ears are wandering. and he hears Aqualad kind of debriefing with Batman, and he hears Aqualad say that
he hasn't heard anything. He hasn't discovered anything about a mole yet.
Yeah, well, that he heard that there was a mole potentially.
Oh yeah,
and that the cave was vulnerable.
Right.
And he
interesting. You know what I'm just now thinking about?
What?
He knew about that mole a while before he even mentioned anything to Batman.
Yes.
Batman
Like he had to came, or did he have to go? Maybe it is like. I like that he didn't just go, Daddy!
Yeah. Well, Red,
like
this whole time...
He molded over.
Well, Red this whole time has been trying... and by Red, I mean Red Tornado has been really beating into them, like, deal with your own shit.
Yeah.
He says it in multiple episodes. Like,
good point.
You guys deal with your own stuff. So I think at this point, Aqualad is just like, I'll deal with this myself. This is a team issue.
Right.
And I'm the leader. So I'm the best one. I'm the number one,
That's
Aqualad...
That's a good point,
Aqualad
man.
is basically a young Jean-Luc Picard a little bit in my mind, just because of how good he is at this shit. I'm sorry.
No.
I think he's so good.
This podcast is for.
I think he's so smart, and it's smart strategically and emotionally. That's kind of why I say Jean-Luc Picard. Although Jean-Luc isn't as in touch with his feelings as Caldor gives very good advice.
Very much so.
He's
so wise.
Yes, he's very wise for his age. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So they travel to India to find out the source of the.
Wait, hold on. So the whole team is like outraged to learn that Aqualad...
learn about the mole, that they would keep it from them. Yeah.
And it's completely splintered the whole team, basically.
Yep.
Like, everything they've built up so far is completely fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to bring Captain Marvel on top of that, who the team sees as, like...
As a chaperone.
Yes, when really Billy was just like, can I go?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I go?
I'm going to hang out with the old kids.
Yeah, with the cool kids. I mean,
I also think there's this weird... I think it's... Do you guys think that Batman at this point knows, or do you think that this is an element of Batman trying to sort out if that's a kid?
Oh.
I have also read... I have always read that...
I think he knows.
I have always read that as Batman suspected it. Like, let's say, like, he's 53%. I think that's a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him around some other kids.
He keeps on picking his nose in the watchtower.
He keeps asking if I have any gum.
Yeah.
I don't have any gum.
Fuck you, I was just...
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen an adult like Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
Weird sub...
that's interesting. Possibly.
Certainly. So the team dynamic is not... It's worse than it was when they first came together.
Yeah.
Because now it's... We were a team, but you didn't trust us?
Yeah.
Everyone's pissed. Everyone's a fucking teenager.
Yes, it's very teenager-y. Yeah. It's very teenager.
But not in a...
Their feelings are hurt, honestly.
Yeah, no, but not in a way that's...
Yeah,
I'd be pissed.
I would be very upset, yeah. But I agree. It's a teeny kind of upset, like... but it's...
But also one wonders, like, all of us in our, like, like, you know how anywhere you go, oh, it's high school again? Mm-hmm. Like, one wonders if adults wouldn't react this way, too.
Sure.
In Justice League, when they find out that Batman basically has... Everyone's all...
Everybody's miffed.
Yeah. No.
You think we might get out of hand? That's insane. This amount of power should be maybe tempered in some way?
We're walking weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. Well, we're in India, everything sucks, no one likes each other, and Aqualad has no control over anything.
Yeah, he tries to set up the plan, everybody just
has a tantrum.
It's drop zone times two, because everyone's just highly aware of, and they've also splintered into their comfy little groups.
Yes.
There's been
Robin and Wally.
Yeah, there's been a big thing that I don't know that the three of us have addressed enough, that Robin and Wally are close.
They're so good. They're bros. They're bros and they're best friends.
They're bros in a very Huck Finn.
Oh yeah.
And his buddy.
Yeah.
Tom Sawyer. Some would say the main character.
You know what I should have done?
What?
I should have been like Huck Finn and Riggs.
Yeah.
Not where I was expecting that to go. I was going to have to censor. But yeah, so you have Wally and Robin. You have a weird pairing of Artemis and Miss Martian because Superboy tries to step into the rescue and they don't need him. They don't need his chauvinistic ass.
Yeah, precisely.
But also post the Reds attack, which he's also Connor is super on edge about, Connor is used to winning fights, and he is not used to having emotional connections, and this is the first time
he lost a fight.
Well, lost a fight, and in the relationship, they're in a relationship, and this is the first time her life has been threatened, and he's fresh to the world and being a person.
Yes, and it's a very intense fear for him.
And he's not reacting to it well, so he's being overprotected boyfriend guy, and, Megan was rightfully like, back up, bro.
Yeah. Don't be 70s.
I'm
like
a strong, independent woman.
Oh my goodness, so good.
So, there's the show's good, and there's a lot going on with everybody, and it's not all the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wally and Robin are specifically pissed about, you didn't tell us the secrets from the team.
We're
all
buds.
supposed to be partners.
Yeah.
Megan is kind of pissed off at everything, but specifically doesn't. The team's not gelling right now, and also Connor's being a weirdo. She doesn't want to go around with Connor.
Right.
Artemis kind of, sort of by default, not in a bad way. I mean, she's not exactly close with Wally. She's obviously also pissed off at Calderon.
Yeah.
And you know what?
What is weird though, I would have expected Artemis to go with Robin. I felt like
Wally's there, man.
Yeah, but even still,
I would argue Wally's there.
I would say that at this point in the show, Artemis and Miss Martian have made connections toward each other, because
that's exactly where I was going.
There are multiple moments where they are connecting. I mean, the team interconnects constantly.
Her first episode at the end, Megan is like, my first mission was... Yeah, I
And-
feel like
and
there's been no real conflict between
And
them.
they have a healthy, you would be cute with Calder, you would be cute
Precisely.
with...
Yeah.
And that's in a previous episode also, which is more of them just kind of connecting.
So that's why I also
I think this is a natural
Wally's
pairing.
with Robin. My girl's arguing with her man.
Mm-hmm.
But does Artemis know 100%?
No.
I don't think she
no
knows
one
until
really
Halloween.
knows. Yeah.
Artemis knows in Halloween, and then Wally finds out on his birthday.
Calder and
Spoilers.
Robin are like, okay. They figure it out immediately.
Oh, yeah. Robin knows who her dad is.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing on his phone.
Yeah.
Anywho. But, so that's everyone's beef.
Right.
That's the dynamic. Artemis is...
I mean, not a whole lot
again,
happens
I
this
say by
episode
default...
and then separate from that.
And then, of course, Connor is Connor, so he goes running off.
Yep.
He's pissed off at Calder. He's pissed off that Megan won't let him protect her. He's pissed off that he pissed off Megan.
Right.
He's mad at himself.
Right. And
Calder's there with Shazam.
Yeah, and Captain Marvel is trying to set him straight a little bit with some of his wisdom of Solomon. Yes.
But then fellas.
They get attacked by
Danger in the
wild
jungle.
animals. Yeah. A bunch of
big animals.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Sure.
I was taking some notes and I was thinking about this episode, and one of the things I like about this episode is Connor just spends most of it fighting like a bunch of wolves, basically. And Wolf, the main wolf, and then I suddenly realized, wait, is Connor the alpha male? The episode is called Alpha Male.
My brain just vomited.
Yeah, and now
mine turned into those cubes from House of M and just disappeared.
because he does present himself as the alpha. That's why Wolf is. All of that is made up garbage.
He also
people,
presents himself as an alpha to Miss Martian.
Yes. Now, ultimately, the meaning is sort of like a thing like Calder needs to get his team together, kind of thing.
Right.
But
what is a leader?
Yes. I noticed that, hey, he's a literal alpha male in this sense.
Calder's the alpha male.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right. And he
had...
shows it at the end of this episode.
Yes, he does.
When he's just like, shut the hell up. I'm your boss. Listen to me, and we can talk about all this later.
Yes.
Wonderful.
But that's a really great... Yeah, I never thought about...
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, man. That's
well,
a good...
It hits on so many
It wasn't
levels.
so much a
read
very serious... Not serious because I do take it... I do take it seriously. But I thought it was funny when
Sorry
it
about
occurred.
that.
I thought it was funny when it occurred to me.
So, again, with the exception of the team dynamic, not a whole lot happens plot wise.
No,
they stop the brain.
True enough. Again, dear listeners, what found us here was that the Gotham mayor died hunting.
Yeah. And this is the episode with Mr. Tawny, which is cool. Love Mr.
There's a
Tawny.
tiger.
The tiger. And the brain.
Tiger.
In the flesh.
Something says.
Yeah.
God, the Brain's so good.
I was not aware of the Brain until this show. Personally.
Did you not? You didn't read Doom Patrol?
No.
Oh boy.
Didn't know the Brain. Brain's a new one on me.
Brain's a new one on me.
Oh man.
Brain's a
I
new
get a
one.
lot
I like
of new
them.
ones from this show.
I like the Brain. See, now this is the kind of goofy shit I'm into.
Yeah.
I'm all good with the Brain.
Yeah.
Brain Man, hell yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So the episode ends. We get the team is not whole, but they're a bit more understanding of where Calder's coming from with the mole, because he also he lays it flat out once they finish up the mission. Listen, I don't know if any of you were. I'm going off of the word of Sportsmaster. I didn't think that it was, and after this mission, you guys have all had multiple opportunities that you could have turned, and you didn't.
Well, he has a wonderful character building moment with Captain Marvel, where Captain Marvel points out the manner in which Batman takes command.
Yep.
And takes is a apt word. He doesn't ask for it. He doesn't wait for people's permission.
Nope.
He understands the need, and he understands his capability in doing it. Which Caldor takes to heart. And at one point, when it really has reached quite a brimming point, everyone's just doing whatever.
Yep.
Caldor blows the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, we are here. And until we discuss it and pick a new leader,
Yep.
I'm in charge.
You guys put me in charge, and until we discuss somebody else doing it, I'm in charge.
You know, the tone of it is very much this ain't a dictatorship, but until we figure out who else is doing it, this is my job.
Yep. So episode ends with him.
Everyone sort of coming to grips.
Yeah, he offers it up to the group. Listen,
Yeah.
if you want a new leader, I fully understand.
I think the biggest
And then everybody votes him back.
The biggest two, notably, to be 100% cool with it, are Wally and Robin.
Yeah.
Miss
I think
Martian
that makes
seems
the most sense too,
Well-
because they're the ones who have been sidekicks the longest. They would understand that dynamic.
But also, bro,
Like, it hurts, but
they're
you
the
get over it.
ones, as we build later on in the season, who have no affiliation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Megan, by default, is kind of like, hey, whatever, I guess.
Right.
Artemis
It has her
is
backstory. Yep.
okay, and Connor is like, I guess I get it.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
And then,
And then he gets a wolf. Connor gets a
oh,
wolf.
that's right. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was fighting a pack of wolves the whole
Oh.
time.
Yeah, so bereft isn't can I keep it? That is
That's why I asked.
Wally says, "Oh, I didn't get a souvenir." And then Miss
And
Martian
then-
says, "Superboy's got you covered."
Yeah.
And then this is the one where he says, "Can I keep it?"
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Wolf.
What are you going to name it? Wolf?
What's wrong with Wolf?
What's wrong with Wolf? It's great.
About crypto.
Ooh, I think that one's taken.
Yeah, it's taken.
All right, let's do episode 14. We'll end on episode 14.
I think that's fair. This is a pretty good one. to
So
end
did
on.
that mean we did 5 episodes?
We did 6 episodes.
6? Yeah.
6 episodes, and we'll have 12 more.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
We got to do this better. But we're in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's character building.
I'll have less stuff to say about the acrobat episode.
Yeah.
I love that episode too, but I like because we're not building that much character.
Short, no,
Right.
that's fair.
Maybe sort of.
We'll talk about that.
We'll
one.
talk
We'll talk about it. We'll talk
Anyway,
about it.
Episode
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Let's do 14.
Revelation.
Sorry.
No worries. A plant monster is attacking.
Yep. Everywhere. All over the place.
Giant plant monsters.
And it's the Injustice League.
All
Oh,
right.
no.
Okay, can we talk about the Joker?
Okay.
The
I
Joker is
love it.
bad.
I was
Very
going to
bad.
say
Joker is
we have to
bad
talk
in Young
about Brent
Justice.
Spiner.
Thank God.
We have to talk about Brent
I was
Spiner.
getting so nervous.
You read my mind.
He.
Joker's-
My okay
Yeah.
when you screamed, "Can we talk about the Joker?" was we have to talk about Brent Spiner.
It's
Yeah,
really
I-
bad. He's
it's not
really
good.
bad.
It's he doesn't understand the character. He
No.
doesn't understand his motivations.
Now, who was all right?
Is
what
the
was the
writing
char-
also not that great?
Yeah, the writing's bad.
Yeah.
It seems like they put in,
personalities.
hey, we're gonna do
so bad.
Yeah,
They're
we're gonna-
trying very hard. Is my thing. They're trying very, very hard. Sorry, you
No.
go.
It felt like they put together the Injustice League, and they're like, oh, the Joker's a part of that. We have to put him in. There you go. Because his reason for being there is he's controlling the plant monsters Why would you give that to the Joker?
Yeah, that's weird. That is a weird choice.
Yeah.
I always accepted that. I've always just had a problem with all the dialogue and the interpretation.
Yeah.
And if they bring him back, they can't be Brent.
I really hope they don't bring him back.
Brent do something else.
Yeah. It was he.
Why is he not Red Tornado? No, I'm just joking. Yeah. But the it's also just a crazy tone he's doing.
Yeah.
Like I was like I was joking earlier with Kelly about the character voice choices he makes, and they're always something like this.
Yeah.
It's always something up here. Like I'm not trying to make it sound so much like the Monarch, but it's always up here.
Yeah.
No, there it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
more like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's something nasally but high.
And he's doing that sort of, only like it's like an older gentleman doing it. Like I'm used to seeing him doing it when he's like 35, maybe 42, and you know he's an older gentleman now. It's all weird. It's off.
Wonky and weird and not the Joker. It doesn't feel like the Joker.
Yeah.
No.
It felt like the Trickster.
I
Yeah.
do like.
Yeah, I would take that. I actually agree with that.
Swap out the Trickster.
I do like the illustration. I do like the.
Yeah, no, the design.
He looks
Yeah,
great.
sure.
The
He kind of looks
design.
like David Tennant as the Joker.
Yeah.
I feel like he looked like one of the Beatles.
He does a little, I guess. He's like a.
I'm not a huge fan of this interpretation of him in
That's
general.
fair.
Like the
Yeah,
art,
yeah,
that's fair. You're getting an
anything.
argument here.
Yeah.
So the plant monsters are attacking. The Justice League proper is going after the actual plant monsters because they're in.
You know, next time I see that, I'm just going to see John Lennon as the Joker.
No.
Now that he said the Beatles, because now I'm imagining his hair.
Yeah.
I can see it perfectly.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
never
sure.
thought of
He
it
does
before.
have like a young John
I'm gonna be
Lennon.
haunted by that for the rest of my life.
Oh, hello, Gaston.
personalities.
I
I was a total creep.
Okay.
We've been talking about Joker or John Lennon. So the Justice League proper is taking care of the plant monsters because they're attacking like cities and crap. The team is going after the Injustice League, who is controlling it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So they track him down. They figure out.
Well, there's a really cool moment where Batman is explaining these plants are attacking all over the planet. They are super destructive and they're exploding with gas that is killing people and making them laugh to death. And it all lines up with everything we know about what's been going on with these crime syndicates. This has stuff to do with the venom, with
All the pieces are falling into place.
Yeah. This is all lining up for everything they know about.
Yep.
So
So they track him down.
Batman. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Batman explains to them the League will be out fighting the plants, keeping the population safe, and everything like that. And Wally, in classic Wally form, was like, "Man, what are we gonna do?" And this is a cool thing they do with the dialogue. Artemis goes, "Hello, Wally."
Yeah. Everyone does the hello thing.
Yeah.
Because they're
They leave it after one, which I like.
yes, I agree. Because it's a thing like you would do as a teen, and then you kind of move on.
Well, we also talked about this in episode 1, where it is irritating.
Yes.
It's not like later stuff, which we will talk about,
Right.
but I actually kind of like.
Yeah.
So Wally's bummed because it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna have a lame thing? Well, no. If the League is out fighting these plants that are attacking everywhere, and we know who the villains are because they went on TV and did a nice group shot, like they were the Chicago Bears, having not the '84 Chicago Bears who were undefeated, just rapping.
Justice League.
Yeah, just like everyone group shot.
Yep.
We'd like some money, please.
Yes.
Or our plants will kill you.
Yeah.
And they fucking, I mean, this is a Batman in a rare moment of blindness was like, oh, well then sure. That's why all this is happening, because of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, the team has to take down, I'm sorry, that was a long-winded way of saying we know who's doing these plant attacks. So if the team's out fighting the plants,
You guys.
who's going to be fighting the guys making that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they track him down to the swamp lair
Of Louisiana.
of Louisiana.
Yeah.
We have them going up against Count Vertigo,
Yes.
Ultra Humanite,
Yes.
Wotan.
Check.
Shout out to Wotan. Black Adam.
Never heard of him before, but I love him.
Oh, Wotan's great.
I never heard of Wotan either.
And the voice actor's great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. I said me too. What?
Yeah.
I love
Hashtag.
that guy. Yeah.
Black Adam.
Yes.
Poison Ivy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Atomic
guy?
Skull. Atomic Skull and Joker. Yep.
Another Venture Brothers character.
I swear to God. Especially because he can't seem to talk.
No, he doesn't say a goddamn word. So I feel like he sounds like 24, you know? Like, I just... Atomic Skull cracks me up. But, yeah, he is there.
Mm-hmm.
And powering it, I guess, like... brrr,
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Shoots his head laser.
That's great. So, they fight.
Yeah. Well, you know, I love this episode because the, like, gravity and, like, there's so much tension and atmosphere because this is, like, a for real mission, kind of.
This is the first time they're going up against, like, proper super
And
villains.
people aren't quipping. There's a lot of... and you know what? God bless the show. You know, we're talking about maybe 20-some characters.
Yes.
That are all doing something with, like... with purpose,
right?
That's pushing the plot forward.
Yeah,
there isn't just this nonsense going on, like there's every shot in the show is doing something. When we see the Justice League, when we see Hawkman flying in and like smacking a plant vine.
Oh, we see Guy Gardner in this one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Guy shows up.
Yeah, because we have multiple Green Lanterns in the show.
Yes,
they do their due diligence.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, there's Hal Jordan. There's it's John Jones, right?
Yeah, or Jon Stewart.
John Stewart,
just like the Daily Show.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No worries.
John Jones is Manhunter.
Yeah.
And
then Guy Gardner catches a bus.
Yeah. And Kyle Rayner, he's not here.
Yeah, Kyle Rayner's not here. But Guy Gardner's sleeveless. He catches a bus. He waves at everybody.
Everyone makes fun of him later.
And then meanwhile, you know, the team is kind of getting their ass kicked. With the exception of Robin and Miss Martian, who have some kind of mission that is not revealed to us. Mm-hmm. Also, Caldor has something in a bag just in case, quote unquote.
Great foreshadowing there. Just in case. No, it's perfect. Like, it's super concise. It gets the point across. So
they they kind of get dispatched quickly. They're in the bioship, and Black Adam takes them down with the help of Captain Vertigo. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets their asses kicked. Robin and Miss Martian disappear into the forest. Fights proceed to go down. Is Bane on this team?
No Bane.
I'm confusing it with that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Gosh, is there any
it is
cool
funny.
Ass fights? I mean, it is nothing but cool action scenes, but nothing is really flying at him.
I think it's interesting that they have the. It's interesting that they have the iconic Legion of Doom domed thing.
Darth Vader head.
It's not
Thank
given.
You for pointing it
it's
out.
not given like any attention. It's very interesting.
But it is
it's
there.
Just there. It is there.
Accoutrement.
Yeah. And.
Oh, excuse me. The brain's not in this one.
No.
Yeah, I like a moment I like in this episode is we have another Artemis Wally moment where she puts his arm in a sling after it gets broken in the fight.
Because it gets broken after he's running and Count Vertigo messes his equilibrium.
Oh, you know what else is cool about this episode?
And that's fucking wild that Wally is just out there with a broken arm.
But
you know
what else is cool about this episode?
It's very Deku.
It is very Deku.
In Targets and in what's after Targets? We just did it.
Yeah.
Homefront? No, Terrors. Terrors comes after Targets.
Yeah. Targets, Terrors, and then Homefront.
So in 2 episodes, she almost drowns.
Yes.
So when the ship goes down, she has 2 breather things.
Yeah.
And she says out loud, I have almost drowned twice. I'm not going to do this. And she takes these 2, she takes a breather thing out, and she hands one to Wally. The arm thing reminded me of that. Because there's actually these moment. 2 moments with her and Wally.
Yeah.
Where, and I'm not saying she grabbed one for Wally, but she took one, and then she thought about it, and she was like, why didn't Robin have one for me? And then she grabbed another one. Because her and Robin had to share.
Okay, so beyond that, we fast forward to the end. the
Well, they kind of get their ass kicked
They're
a
getting
lot.
their
That's
ass
an interesting
kicked.
thing about this episode,
Yeah.
with
Right.
the exception of Miss Martian and Robin, who
Well-
kind of disappear. Get their ass kicked, and then the whole team comes together. They're doing their best, and then Calder has to put on
The helmet of fate,
the helmet of fate.
which is his
Much to
plan
Wally's
B.
chagrin.
Yes.
This is also post Wally. Wally's been kicking ass with his arm brother.
Yes.
Probably wants a snack.
Yes.
most likely
Have we mentioned at all that he
eats all the
he
time
eats all the time
because he burns a lot of calories.
because he burns a lot of calories?
Yeah.
It's a big character aspect of Wally is my man could put down some carbs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that's when things turn around,
Yeah.
and they
Dude,
they succeed.
Nabu versus Wotan,
Yeah, that's
dude,
great.
it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Magic fight, nerds.
Well, yeah, and something I do, one of the few
And
Joker...
Nabu yelling at Wotan is so cool.
It is. One of the few Joker things I like in this episode is that he basically challenges Robin to a knife fight.
Yeah.
Which I thought... I remember even watching on Cartoon Network at the time, and I was like, that is intense.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Just to see a character
think
with a knife
That's
trying
the
to
moment that I
gut
like
a child.
I like that I like his weird punk rock.
I agree. I said,
yeah,
I was with
suspenders
you
flying in the
in
air. And he's got
enjoying
these
his-
two little.
butterfly knives, I thought they were.
Yeah.
Or were they
I think
switchblades?
they're
They're
switchblades. Yeah, I always wanted to carve this bird.
Yeah.
That dude's like 40, right?
Yeah.
He's like trying to straight up stab a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, but it's what I like about Voldemort. Too.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It
is.
That is what Voldemort's trying to do.
It's
Yeah,
what
he's trying to
makes
stab
Goblet
Harry
of Fire
Potter
so
with two
real
knives.
to me. This is a short tangent, but it really is. It's like at one point he's torturing that kid and he's really enjoying it. It's like, that's dark.
Get your rocks where you can get them.
But then the Justice League show up because they were able to beat up all the plants.
Yeah, and Nabu also
Yeah.
showed up.
Yeah. Wally.
There's a cool moment with Miss Martian and Robin, where Robin covers the mother plant that's kind of the controlling all the roots that are attacking everywhere else with his little Robin mines.
Yep.
And he's standing on top with Miss Martian with his arms crossed, and he Poison Ivy noticed it, and there's the beep 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 beep, and then Robin goes, timber. Boom!
So cheesy,
Sorry, guys. He's my
wonderful.
favorite
No,
character.
it's good. It's good stuff.
It is good.
He's so Batman.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
So the end of the episode gives us that the reveal that these guys are all Fall Guys.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they're there to take the blame while the actual Light completes their mission, which is to steal back the starfish thing, right?
And
I think they're literally revealed to us in this episode.
Starfish,
though, right?
the starfish thing was
The
Aqua.
Atlantis episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
which
thought
we
they
did.
steal it back because at the end of the Aqualad episode, they have it,
no, but
not the Light, but
the Xanatos. No. The whole Xanatos of this all was at the end of this. The team goes, "We did it,"
Yeah.
Okay.
and the
And I
Justice
think that's
League.
it, yeah.
Everybody's like, "We sorted it out."
There is
It
a
all
back and
makes
forth
sense now.
with
Yeah.
with the star
with the
of
Because
Temple, yeah.
now at this point, the Light's in this position where the Justice League essentially, but the team has infiltrated the prison and they found out what was going on. They were trying to do a prison break. That's wrapped up.
Yep.
Allegedly. As we all know, it's not
It's
at all.
not.
The prison's being run by the bad guys. And now, this Venom thing and this stolen starfish and
up.
all that. Oh, that was this Injustice League.
2 + 2
So
equals
that
Injustice
all
League.
adds up. So so what the Light gets out of this is now they're not worried about what we were doing at the prison,
And we get
which was trying to get Enigma out and getting Hugo Strange in charge of that prison.
power, yep. So we get them all revealed to us as well.
Yeah.
So we got Vandal Savage,
Yes.
Lex Luthor, Queen Bee,
Ocean Masters.
Ocean Master, Brain, Clarion.
Did we see Ocean Master do anything?
No. Because
Because Black Manta's cooler.
Yeah, he is.
Black Manta's way cooler, and it works more for our
Oh yeah, and then
favorite
I
character.
guess later they're like, yeah, he sucked, so we kicked him out. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a now conversation, and maybe we should do research before we talk about it, but does anyone know if the plan was always to do a time jump? Because I don't know.
No, I have no idea.
Good
I
question.
doubt that was the case. I'm
Yeah.
sure
When
they
we do
wrapped
season 2.
I'm sure they wrapped season 1 and were like, I can't believe they let us do that.
Yeah.
There's no way they'll let us keep going.
Yeah, well, they just announced the Young Justice Plus thing ahead of. Did you not? It's going to be a bunch of like commentaries and stuff with writers and actors,
Sweet.
and it's going to be on the
I
DC.
am on
Alright,
board.
Yeah. So maybe perhaps.
I don't know the month of that.
Yeah.
I'll make you give me $8.
No, okay.
But yeah, so that's the end of episode 14.
Yep.
Right.
That's Revelations. Yeah.
All right.
They
So
did
we'll
the
end.
Oh,
Rating?
0 out of 5. Yeah. For 0 out of 5.
I thought you were
yeah.
saying you rated this one as 0 out of 5.
No.
That's outrageous.
I'll give it a 3.5.
I'm gonna. Wow, yeah, 3.5 because I really don't like the Joker.
Yeah,
it would
the
be a
Joker's
full 4
real
easily.
bad.
Yeah, the Joker real bad.
It doesn't hurt that enough for
No?
me. I'm giving it
4.
a 4.
That's
Okay,
fine.
fair.
Go
It's
for
a
it.
great episode.
It's
Yeah.
And it feels.
I like the...
it pushes the plot forward.
Yes,
It pushes the plot
the
forward.
danger is real,
And
and
I like that it's starting to feed into its own myth with the helmet of Fate
coming back,
and Wally's reaction to it,
Yeah.
and Artemis and Wally, and all the crap
Oh,
I
yeah,
mentioned.
so doesn't it's Zatanna, right? He
Mhm.
takes over being Dr. Fate from Aqualad, right?
No,
no,
that's
that's
in
not
this episode.
until
Okay.
after.
This
That's not when. That's when Zatara.
Oh
Yeah.
The
That's
Marathon.
the kids,
Yeah,
adults
yeah.
world.
Yes.
Yep.
Great
Okay.
episode.
A great,
episode.
a
Yep.
fun one.
Spoiler for
Yeah.
a future episode.
So we're gonna end Young Justice Part 2 there. Pick up Part 3 next week.
I guess.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. So let's transition. Nerdy things we did this week.
Oh, mine's short.
Go for it.
Drop it.
Nope, someone else has got to go.
Oh, okay. What? I do nerdy things constantly.
I'm good.
uh,
I read Luther.
Mhm.
Oh.
Brian Azzarello.
Yep.
And I'm not sure who did the art. That was okay.
It's the same guy who did the art for Joker.
I didn't read that. I'm not interested. I don't think.
That's I don't
What do you
recommend it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
can
a weird
tell.
portrayal. There's
I one
a
time
really
read.
gross scene in it. I'm not,
Oh.
I one
and
time
not even like visceral gross because
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Sure.
like
Yeah.
blood drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood drive.
But no, there's like just a disgusting scene in it.
Yeah.
I one time read a book that came out in like the early aughts called Joker Origins. They were doing all these DC
That's a
character
bad
origins
name for a
things.
book.
You're telling me, brother. It was a 4-part thing, and it was like
Well, this isn't an origin story. It picks up. It shows you like the Dark Knight's Joker. Like he's all.
it was
fucked
just
up
a
and got
real
the scars
example
and stuff.
to me of
It's not good.
it was early on in me like really developing a good comic book taste and a good barometer for like there are these characters you love but sometimes they're very popular and anyways
Regardless, how do you feel about Luther?
Luther was really good.
I know.
It was a little too boy, it was really nice to him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because it should be.
But I don't know. It might be Exhibit A and something we talk about later.
yes, it will be. Is that it? Is that all you did?
It's the first thing that comes to mind. I read some other comics of yours. I can't think of what off the top of my head though. I've been perusing.
Go for it, man.
You got anything? Maybe it'll jog my memory.
Was watching some Sailor Moon,
Nice.
which is slightly not out of character, but it is new for me this week. And what else? I was busy all weekend. I had to draw a thing. I didn't even get to see Creed 2. That's not really a nerdy thing that you did.
I didn't mention it.
Yeah.
Creature was awesome.
But clear. Let's go into
What'd you do?
JoJo's
Yeah,
Bizarre Anime Corner.
we could go into my anime
But
corner.
do you have no
You have no
nerdy
nerdy
things?
things?
No, I do. I played D&D again.
Oh.
We got my bounty hunter was hunting the party. One of the members of the party is a warlock who follows this like ancient one who's trying to get him to do his bidding on
Sure.
Earth. Gives him this like
Lines
this,
up with ancient ones.
Yeah,
this
and
pact-
classic warlock.
he gives him this packed boon that he has a dagger that he can cast darkness twice per day.
Hi, I'm Packed Boone.
Solid. I group the team up so that I can hand them over to the city guards where they're wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This guy uses darkness to...
Wait, why'd you do that?
My character was introduced as a bounty hunter who was after the team.
Okay.
For crimes they had committed
Okay.
previous session. The guy cast darkness, and the paladin who I was turning them over to gets sort of infected by the Ancient One.
Okay.
And he's fallen and been essentially possessed by an ancient deity, not the same one, but a different one that was sharing the prison that this Ancient One's been kept in. Long and short of it is, that guy essentially burned down the Vatican, took control, and we had to leave the city.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
Very
wow.
much so. Very much so. It's definitely going to check out Hawkeye's farm. I freed the group from the prison that I put them in, and now we're going to my home, which is a couple weeks away from the city.
Follow me to my village, friends.
Yeah.
We should regroup there.
Yeah.
Not so much friends.
Yeah.
They don't like me. They also found out recently that my character's a werewolf, which
Oh, nice.
which also didn't help my cause.
No,
too
no
much.
one likes that.
But-
Unfortunately.
Getting into JoJo's bizarre anime.
Yeah,
corner.
my bizarre
Wait,
anime.
should we do homework before Anime Corner?
Well, we can do his homework in it.
Oh yeah, it was an anime.
All right, let's
I did
do
have
it.
anime homework.
Babies.
So I had to watch the time. What is the full name?
That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yes, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
How many episodes you get in, JoJo?
Let's see. It was a deep dive on my part. I got a whole one episode in,
I told you episode 1's not great.
and it was not.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it particularly.
There's
but-
a lot of world building.
Yes.
In the first episode.
And so this let me explain. So a sort of a new popular thing in anime right now, and because this is originally a light novel,
Mhm.
I did a little bit of research.
Nerd.
Yeah, and is this sort of idea of being being transported into like a video game. So there's this anime that hit it really big called Sword Art Online, which is exactly that. It's about characters who are transported, basically.
They play a VR game, but they get trapped inside the VR.
Yes, when you die in the game, you die for real.
If somebody takes the
Oh.
VR off, you
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like an MMORPG in a fantasy world.
Okay.
And that show was the hotness.
die. Yeah, so that genre gained a lot of popularity. It's called
Yes.
isekai. is what
Yes.
it means
Okay.
to-
I didn't even know
You
it had.
transport, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know it had a name. And
So a lot of shows have been doing that.
it's a big thing. Like Sword Art hit it big in what, like 2010,
Yep,
2011. You know, about 8 years ago almost.
There are now 3 series. That Sword Art
Yes,
Online has
tons
done,
of them. It's a mess. I don't particularly care for that series.
one of which is good.
And
Going on.
I've seen Log Horizon, like I said off
Mhm.
mic. I enjoy Log Horizon.
It's another
That is
series.
another
where people
series.
get locked into a video game.
locked into a fantasy video game. Yes, it's
It does it in a much different way.
Yes.
And in my opinion, a better way.
So this series it has the exact same premise. Only, well, it's not a video game.
It has video game aspects to
yes.
it. Yes. And it's
Basically like Warcraft. It's
very
a
much so.
It's a Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He gets the main character dies and is
So he's just a normal everyday guy
Yes.
in Japan
yes
who is going to lunch with one of his coworkers
Hey, bros.
and he gets stabbed.
yeah
Oh!
Random stabbing,
as you
gets
do.
stabbed. The last thing he says to his coworker is, "Wipe my hard drive."
oh yeah that bit is
Wipe
really good.
my hard drive. Is
and
the
then
last
he
thing.
dumps it into
Yeah, and then he
the.
puts it in a bathtub.
Yeah.
He puts his computer
That's
in
a
the
really good.
I love
bit.
it.
Yeah.
But while
Um,
he's dying, he's experiencing death, and you see intercut with shots of him dying, bleeding out, is this sort of computer program that's taking the things that he says and sort of translating them. There's a lot of like really weird ones where he's like, he had never had sex before, and he was turning 30, I believe,
Mhm.
which he attributes to being a wizard, which is what it's called when you hit 30 while being a virgin. You call yourself a wizard.
Cool.
And it translates the fact that he calls himself a wizard to a special ability called Sage, which essentially just gives him advice and stuff like that. He has a unique power called Predator, where he's able to absorb things around him.
Well, let me.
Yeah, go for it. Get in there. This is your homework.
Yeah, it is my homework. Let me explain even the concept because you've never played like Dragon Quest. You're vaguely familiar with Final Fantasy, but thank you so much. In Dragon Quest, there are these sort of iconic characters known as slimes, and they're this blue, kind of cute. Like it kind of looks like a teardrop, like a fat teardrop, but it's like a monster, and it's made out of like a jello, kind of like a flubber, but with eyes.
Okay, I'm on board.
Yeah, that's a slime, and it's kind of an RPG. It's a long way established, deep cut RPG thing, and so like it is a common like thing to exist in a fantasy world.
I'm on board still.
But I would say it's a sort of it's like a Goomba in Mario.
Yeah, this is very much a level 1.
Yes,
monster.
a basic monster, if you will. And so he.
So this.
What a burn!
This 30-year-old Japanese
Man,
guy.
he's just a basic monster. Yeah.
He gets reincarnated as a slime.
Yes.
Just a basic monster. But he has special abilities.
Yes.
So one of his primary
Basic
ability,
monsters have picture frames in their house
that say live, laugh, love.
Yeah. But also, what else?
They drink pumpkin spice
lattes.
Yeah.
They have a picture of all their girlfriends that they went to college with that says family on their desk.
Yikes. So this character's primary ability is a trait called Predator, which he can absorb things into his body and then use them.
Yeah.
So
kind of Mega Man-like.
Very much Mega Man-like.
I'm on board.
Yeah, it's honestly
it's
the first episode is rough because it's building.
Is it campy rough? Or
No,
is
no.
it,
It's
I've
just,
seen this before.
It's poorly
rough.
plotted.
Yeah.
It's
I've seen this before. Rough.
For me, it was I've seen this before. Rough and like, I get it, kind of rough. It was like see, I don't tend to watch every anime that comes out in the season.
That's fine. You want to do the 3-episode thing?
I really I just didn't get to more of it out of a time thing.
No, I can understand. I forget that people work at work.
Yeah, I do have to work at work. I can't. I used to have a job where I could watch videos, but now I have to work.
Yikes.
But anyway, but like I didn't hate it,
Yeah, it's just not for you.
Yeah,
and that's 100% understandable.
It was fun.
It wasn't your blood drive.
Yeah, it has a light. I like its tone certainly.
Yeah,
and
that's one of the more. Because I'm also watching Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, Goblin Slayer. I know
which
that.
is almost diametrically opposed to that.
Yeah.
Do not watch Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch
Goblin Slayer is another show in this same genre.
No, it's different. Goblin Slayer is just a fantasy.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's just strict fantasy.
See,
There's no RPG elements.
I simply assumed
it's almost like watching somebody's D&D game.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it's very much.
That's cool.
If you are going to watch Goblin Slayer, start at episode 4. All of seriously,
I do this to people all the time.
Do not watch episodes 1 through 3.
I feel like and I know whenever I say it, they're not going to listen to me,
sure.
and that I'm right.
Yeah,
I very much hope you get all of the character building from episode 1 through 3 in episode 4.
Yeah,
you get fan service, you get all the fun stuff. There's a very very terrible scene that happens in the first episode of Goblin Slayer that I wouldn't recommend.
Okay.
I said this to you about Rebels, where I was like, just watch the season 2.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not that season 1's bad. It's that it's stuff that you, as a more seasoned fan, don't need to see because you know.
Yeah.
I tend to be. I'm in a phase right now in my anime enjoyment where I'm visiting. I wouldn't say classics, but like I said, I watched Ippo for the first time recently, and I would call that a classic.
Oh yeah,
it's relatively fundamental as like a shonen anyway. It's pretty like the heart of the shonen genre as a piece, and it's so addictive and easy to go through. The anime anyway. I wish I could get my hands on the manga in any way. I would buy it in a heartbeat, but they don't just. No one really publishes it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any,
which is kind of a shame.
Did you hear that? Neon Genesis Evangelion
is coming to Netflix. I did indeed.
I've been trying to hunt that down because I watched it online through a disreputable site.
Sure.
Shall remain nameless.
Yes.
And it was a bad experience watching it through that site. So I tried to find like a copy of it that I could buy, but the rights for it were always like up in limbo, and they weren't like remaking or remastering anything. But hearing that it's coming to Netflix, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
This week, because I'm a nerd and a writer, I watched every episode of Ruby, which is the Rooster Teeth.
The Rooster Teeth show. Yeah,
Rooster Teeth show.
I really know it because those characters are included in Blaze Blue Cross Battle, which I'm a big fan of. I enjoy it. Yeah.
We'll have to play sometime.
Oh yeah. I'm slightly rusty. I haven't been playing a little bit, but I bet you I'll remember my I have it on Switch. I don't know what you, but I'll still whoop you. Who do you play? You just
don't.
Pick.
Oh, okay. I don't play.
Oh, okay.
A friend of mine has it, and the friend that I play D&D with, he has it at his place, and we'll play it while we're waiting for everybody to show up.
Oh yeah, I love fighting games.
Yes.
I love it.
So I watched all of Ruby, and then I proceeded to write a 10-episode spin-off series for Ruby.
I don't know much about it, really.
I've watched through season 5 previous, and I like the world that it's in. I like the combat system. I like the magic system that they have.
Yeah.
And because I'm a nerd, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I took their main story, let them have it, and I just made a small, compact, self-enclosed story for a different part of the world that's not being touched
utilized
upon yet.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I've tweeted at the creators of that show twice, trying to get them to at least read my script.
That'd be sweet. I've never jumped in, but I'm aware. So it's on my radar.
If that's something that you do decide to do, the first 2 seasons, the animation is atrocious.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's just getting started.
Because it was
it's older, and then like it's their first attempt at doing something like this.
I feel like it's. I don't want to say it's like an. It was I don't want to say insanely low budget. It's like they were doing the best they could with what they had, clearly.
Very much.
And in that sense, it's impressive, but still, you're kind of like,
right.
It's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, the fight scenes in it are dope. In season 3, the animation gets significantly better, and it progresses on.
Well, yeah, because they get some money.
Yeah,
they get some money. That'll do that.
But yeah, so that's it for my anime stuff.
I did want to talk a little bit more Hunter x Hunter with you while I had you. I wanted to sort of get into
York New City. No, it's great.
Well, I was going to ask you what your favorite arc was.
That's a great question. I really like the Chimera Ant arc.
Yes,
I really do.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
I would put that number 1, but I feel like a lot of people would put that as number 1.
It's tough not to, because it's where a lot of things come to a head.
Yeah. Other than that, York New City is my
both those make sense because both those are similarly yeah and like tonally like completely follow the same kind of dark and like I mean Chimera Ant isn't like the first time I was watching it during the beginning when the ants are rampaging through that ants? Stuff. Yes. Okay. So
big giant ants.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
giant... So when you guys say dark, well, wait before you answer that.
Sure.
Answer,
I don't want to explain too much because I would like you to, but I'll
that's why I'm stopping you. When you guys say best. Dark, so is the show kind of broody? Is it like
no? It is tonally dark in that it handles difficult topics in a way that isn't black and white.
Yes.
Like the entire series Hunter x Hunter is a deconstruction of shonen anime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it takes the things that you love, twists it on their heads, and shows you how in reality it works.
Yes.
Right.
By showing you both sides of a thing.
Gotcha.
The Chimera Ant arc, it focuses mainly on these insects that are able to sort of evolve through the things that they eat. They take on traits of things that they eat.
Yes, and they're sort of anthropomorphic. They're more human. They're
humanoid.
Humanoid ants. So they're not like, not all of them anyway. Some of them are a little bit more animalistic. But when they're introduced to us, they are horrific.
Yeah,
they are horrific. An absolute nightmare. One time, our main characters come across a camp of the ants who literally have a naked slave dog man. Yes.
Yeah.
who is begging for death.
Yeah,
I see.
he just wants to die.
So that's what I mean by dark.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's intense. It's intense stuff. And
Also, if you want to read something I've written, I'll send you my script, by the way.
yeah,
'Cause, I'm very proud of that.
So I get.
But yeah, so what's yours?
Me.
I feel. Wait, hold on. Let me guess.
Oh yeah.
I think if it's not, no, I'm not going to do that because
Okay.
that's hedging my bets. I'm going to say it is Killua's family.
Oh, I love the Zoldyck art. Not what I would have said.
Okay.
So I think one of my favorites to watch is Greed Island. I love Greed Island. I love a
Really?
Yeah. See, people don't like Greed Island.
It's yes, it is famously
Unliked.
It's not unliked. I would say that if you check out 10 lists of people describing their favorite arcs, 9 of those lists would put Greed Island.
See, I love Greed Island, and I'll tell you why.
It's your favorite card games.
Well, okay, so the card game part of it is interesting because it's a deconstruction of kind of gamer culture,
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree.
So I think that's brilliant. Not only did he create a real card game, he also was like, hey, this is what's fucked up about like video games and online communities, BT dubs. It is though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what.
yeah, yeah.
So on top of that, it's Gon and Killua training the whole time.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Gon and
Gon and Killua are the main characters.
Killua?
Killua, yeah.
Okay.
Gon is the sort of Goku of the show.
He's very much the
yes,
Goku.
he's the Goku. There, you would say he's the obvious comparison.
Yeah.
And Killua is his best friend, and he is more complicated to explain. You don't know
Okay.
Naruto. I would compare him to like if Sasuke was actually a good character. Then he
Sasuke
would
was a
be
good
Killua.
friend from the start.
Yeah. No, what I said was true. If Sasuke was a good character,
Yeah, I agree.
he would probably be. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't.
no,
want,
I agree.
I actually
I'm
don't
also-
know how
I
hard
don't-
you like Naruto. I dunk on Naruto very hard,
That's-
especially Sasuke. I hate it.
Sasuke is a dumb character.
Yes.
I agree.
But yeah, Killua is his best friend. To say that they're main characters is complicated because the story focuses on and off between a couple of different characters. But I guess if you're considering the anime, I would say they're the main characters. They get the most
very
focus.
I'm not going to put Leroy.
Yeah.
There.
And Greed Island is a time in the show where Gon and Killua go into a
That's where he develops Jajanken. Right?
yes, that's where he develops
It's
his
his special move.
his Kamehameha.
yeah, it's great.
They are put into a video game where they.
So do you just like it because it's buddy stuff, or
No, I like it because they are developing their skills. I love Bisky, their
Bisky's
mentor.
Okay.
Their mentor is an amazing
stick
character.
type of guy.
There are a lot of.
She's a lady.
She's a lady.
She's
Ooh.
also like a tiny.
Sorry,
She's a
Biscuit.
tiny girl.
Yes.
Who is also like 60 years old.
She's 50 something. There aren't a lot of women in Hunter x Hunter. There aren't a lot of lady characters in Togashi stuff in general.
Yeah, famously.
Yeah, and it's really one of his what I would say one of his few weak points.
Yeah.
And I love Bisky to death. I think she's an awesome fucking character.
She's very well done.
Yeah, she's very well done. One of my favorite traits of hers is that she's super horny.
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
But not for.
I
not
thought
for
it was
kids.
that she likes to bake.
No, she does not.
Nice,
Although
nice.
her special technique is a masseuse named Cookie. So, anyway. No, I love Greed Island. I love.
Yeah,
I just
like
think.
what you like.
And here's the thing about it. Also, it's right before things get extremely dark,
Very much so. Yes.
and
it is.
it's
a shining light.
and like things get intense in Greed Island, but I would say it's still fun. The show is still fun.
Oh.
And that's why I also enjoy it. On top of like, I love shonen training. That shit doesn't get bored.
Never.
Doesn't get dull to me. I love
Never.
it. I love it. And like the Nen system and the magic system in the show is so well thought out that to see them sort of develop their styles independently, their different styles, and then combine them is great. It's like in Young Justice, to kind of go back to Young Justice, we're seeing them develop together.
Yep.
And even Bisky points this out in the show. And I love comments like that. It's like we get a long break to really examine these two boys before we tear them the fuck down. Like, utterly, emotionally, both of them are destroyed. So, it's interesting. And I like it for that reason. I like the dodgeball game. And Hisoka's in it.
Yeah.
Before we don't see him again. Like, so the arcs are broken. So the anime is like 140 episodes, roughly, right? 70 of it are 3 arcs, and then the other 70 are Chimera Ant, the last arc. So like, the entire last arc takes up basically half the show, whereas the other ones like aren't as nearly delved into. So like,
Wait, so they're not as AB, they're more ABCD? Like,
no,
you mean like...
No, so the way I would say it is the first 70 episodes are, here are our main characters, here's them getting what they want, here's them learning lesson. Chimera arc, here's all the lessons that they learned, and we're going to throw it out the window because they're actually bad characters.
Yeah.
They're bad people. They're great characters. They're terrible people.
Right.
I would say if the rest of the show previous to Chimera Ant, if the first part of the show is like Hogwarts, Chimera Ant is definitely them in the last book.
Yeah.
On their own in the real world.
Gotcha.
In the real fucking world.
Yeah, gotcha.
So yes.
Yeah, that is the end
Anime
of
corner.
JoJo's Bizarre Anime.
Yeah,
Corner.
sorry, dragged on. Hunter
No,
Hunter.
no
will
worries.
drag
No,
on.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Always.
It's a long one, though.
It is.
Sorry.
Enjoy editing this
Our
one.
Young Justice.
Yeah.
Saga.
Yeah.
Saga.
All right. Let's go into homework. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first because I'll be short and sweet.
Sure thing.
Mine was... I'm sorry, Vince. What was the title of the podcast?
The podcast is called Movie Maintenance. Your episode was Gabe's
Gabe's
Wizarding World pitch.
Yeah.
So it's basically an author pitching a movie based on J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World.
Yeah, and he pitches to steal an assessment from one of the co-hosts. He pitches a Cold War style thriller set in the Wizarding World, and it's a good listen if you like podcasts. This particular one I could tell for me, I could tell from the podcast Vince picked me a good one. I bet you things ebb and flow. I'm interested in. I'm going to peruse through this podcast and pick titles of things that I could tell.
There's a James Bond episode.
I saw.
What's it called?
It's called Movie Maintenance. It's now defunct, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Wizarding World pitch and the James Bond pitch are both very good.
Yeah. It was like a quick 45 minutes. It's exactly what you want out of a podcast. It's not just 2 hours of 3 nerds talking about things they love. It was really
Ouch.
Too soon.
Too soon. Damn. All right.
F's in the chat.
I really enjoyed my homework. It was good homework this week.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I just fucking realized I have no homework for you.
Yeah. Well, I actually was able to bring my homework for Vince this time.
Yeah. So JoJo brought me a brick.
Well,
I'll just
this
leave it
is-
at that.
This is a collection. You
Yeah.
know, read it. You know, you don't have to read the whole.
That's
I
collective.
can guarantee you I'm not going
That's
to read
his
the whole
is
thing.
my. I want my name on that too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No.
That's collective homework.
No, it's not.
All right, fine.
This
I'll
is
get
his
you
homework from last week.
Fine.
It is my homework from last week.
I'll get you. I'll get you something you can listen to or watch.
Okay. All right.
We'll announce it on Twitter if you're following us.
Yes, follow us at nerdy_neighbors. So my homework for you, Zach, I'm kind of mad that you read Luther.
Well, wait.
Oh, I have to do my homework.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gave me Marvel 1602.
Well,
Oh,
what did
yeah.
you think of the end of Graveyard Book? You gave a shining recommendation
Yeah.
last time. What did you think of the end?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
You see it
100%.
coming,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
but
it's not anything unique or mind blowing, but it's fun. It's about the journey. It's
worth reading.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If you can pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah, ain't tough to read.
Holidays around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Grab it for
A 13-year-old?
a niece or a nephew or something like
Unless
that.
you have a goth 11-year-old niece or nephew.
Okay, I don't know how much of my stuff you've read. I'm going to give you another thing to read.
Okay.
You can read it at your own pace. Have you read Irredeemable?
Some of it. I'll check it out.
Okay. I want you to
I'm
read.
familiar.
I have the omnibus in my library. So
Just as far as I got.
I would say read issue 1.
Oh,
It'll-
I'll get further than that.
Yeah, I bet you will. But my homework to you is issue 1.
Irredeemable. Okay.
Irredeemable. It's basically what if what everybody wants to happen to Superman happens to Superman. He becomes a bad guy.
What's a good episode of How Did This Get Made?
I love how this get made.
Oh, you do?
He
All
loves
right,
it.
never mind. I'll pick something else.
All right. Well, I think
Sorry, I was looking at my books to see if anything hit me.
I think that has been another episode in the books.
God bless you for sticking around.
Jesus.
Yeah. Thank you for.
Hashtag Young Justice Strong.
Oh boy.
This might lead up to our 10th.
Yeah, maybe very.
This might bleed into the
It
10th.
is getting there rather quick.
Yeah.
Next episode will be the final episode of Young Justice. Thank you for getting this far at least. If you want to check out next week's episode,
I hope
please feel
so.
free.
I'm not optimistic. I think we'll have to do one more.
No, I think we'll get through it.
I think this is
No.
going to be a quadrilogy.
No way.
No.
All right.
All right, but that has been this episode of Nerdy Neighbors. Follow us on Twitter at nerdy_pod.
Go to our YouTube channel. We got to get a podcast as we got to talk.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
God
Very
bless.
much so. Yeah, holidays are around the corner. Make sure you spend it with the people you love or people you tolerate.
But mostly spend it with us.
Mostly.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yeah. I'm Zach.
I'm Vince.
JoJo too.
And as always, we sign out with our catchphrases. JoJo's is.
Not without my wallet.
Vince's is.
My dad's gonna kill me.
And, and mine is. Oh, shucks. My cat ate my homework.